see. It's that old Inquisition whose root in mind and me. So blind to justice, the mom is out to settle the score. Rise up, scream out, protest. More, more, more. But don't you know the tyrant in you is a tyrant in me? And you just set him free. Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? The trick is so ancient, the book is covered in dust. It's that trusty declaration, the people must do what they must. So deaf to reason, the crowd marches to the drum. As the silver-tongued ones scream out, "Viva Obama!" But don't you know the tyrant in you is the tyrant in me? And you just set him free. Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? Where's the liberty? The fear is so timeless, it's stuck in the base of your brain. It's that old time religion, remember the good old days. So daft to freedom, the rabble in the zero chains. And with gilded hope and love, they give themselves
Bamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
It's a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Happy Veterans Day to all you veterans out there. I know a few. Officially, happy Veterans Day to my grandfather, Ron. We'll also have another veteran joining us second day in a row. Troy Carrico will be here before too long. And in particular, if you have a memory you want to share and somebody you want to honor who is a veteran, you can always call up 334-272-9228. Last night, just doing a quick headline rundown, the Senate votes to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. But also they found a way in one of these spending bills they advanced to ban all hemp products, essentially. The new standards for hemp will essentially ban things. And I thought Alabama and the ABC board was bad. Apparently the feds got this through. Rand Paul making a big stink about it. But of course, Rand Paul has chewed through a lot of his political capital if he ever had it. And that's the thing. It's really not about good ideas and best practices when you're up there in the United States Senate or the United States House of Representatives. When you're in the Congress, it is much more about who you know and those relationships you have with people. You could have the best ideas in the world, and I think Rand Paul has a lot of good ones. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I think his instincts are quite sound, and we need more instincts like that up there in Washington, D.C. That said, you can have all the best instincts and best ideas in the world and make a heck of a lot of common sense. But if everybody up there doesn't like you, doesn't like working with you, doesn't think you're a team player, well, they're not even going to listen a bit. Now, maybe you make the decision, I don't want to be a team player. And I'm happy to be the outsider gadfly, stinging my own party and my own supposed team on many issues, especially the issue of too much debt and deficit. But then you take a different approach with the shutdown ending. I believe Donald Trump himself, the president of the United States, praised Alabama's own Senator Katie Britt for helping usher in this deal. So we'll get into more details about that and all the back and forth. But when you are a team player and you're, say, very much a creature, and I mean that in a good way, of that institution called the United States Senate, and you develop relationships, including across the aisle, then people tend to hear you out. And so Trump praising Senator Britt for job well done. And the deal says the shutdown deal is, quote unquote, very good. I believe Katie was in the Oval Office yesterday as Trump was making those remarks. But also inserted into this thing is concerning Arctic frost. Now, this was Jack Smith and team spying on all sorts of sitting senators, and not just sitting senators, but their staff. Everybody they talked to, the two-hop rule. In fact, Morgan Murphy, who we interviewed, he's running for United States Senate, just got, by the way, veterans endorsement from all 67 counties here in the great state of Alabama. So congratulations to Morgan and the Morgan Murphy campaign on that. But he was saying he was wrapped up in Arctic frost because he was on Tuberville's team at that time. Well, John Thune, the majority leader there in the Senate, Republican majority leader, inserts provision allowing senators to sue the DOJ for spying and surveillance by Jack Smith. And I have a sense a lot of senators, even the ones that weren't spied on, agree with that provision. And this continues, by the way, the backlash. Those who take a shot at the king better not miss. Federal prosecutor has now issued subpoenas for 30 top Obama officials. There's a grand jury involved here, and Obama himself might be very well feeling the heat, though I'll believe it when I see it. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of talk, a lot of loud noises and threats. Let's hope they're not just bluffing on so many of these issues. And when it comes to like charging somebody with an actual crime, an actual criminal case, you better have the goods. You better have the proof. It'd be the worst thing in the world if the Trump and team go after Brennan and Comey and Clapper and everybody else, and they don't actually have the goods to see this through. I think just having the process be the punishment is not exactly the most productive thing in the world. Trump says the U.S. is close to securing a fair trade deal with India. We can get into that more. Leftists were apparently behaving like violent lunatics at UC Berkeley Turning Point USA event. I believe Rob Schneider spoke there. But when I saw this, I'm like, well, that seems like part for the course for Berkeley. UC Berkeley is what? A bastion of this sort of. This is where people go to train to be in the streets, to wear the black bloc, to set stuff on fire. That's a class I wish I could have taken at Auburn University, to set stuff on fire in a very provocative way. Why didn't they teach me any protesting there at Auburn? Seems like that's exactly what they teach at UC Berkeley. But, as Rob Schneider is appealing to God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God of the universe, you had people, well, behaving, yes, like violent lunatics, or you could say toddlers, though they are not that age anymore. Again, 272-9228 if you have a comment or something you want to get across, especially in regards to honoring a veteran in your life, friend, family. 272-9228. Sticking on the Veterans Day theme, both Trump and Vice President Vance, I believe also the VA administrator, Veterans Affairs Administrator Doug Collins from Georgia, former congressman from Georgia, they walked together to visit the tomb of the unknown soldier, Trump laying the wreath there. You got to wonder, like, the amount of training in particular that goes into becoming a guard there at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Like, the amount of training a soldier must go through for the proper protocol. It's got to be pretty incredible. And it's always a solemn scene, and one that should make you reflect on all those that did the fighting. Of course, those who died, but also those who did the fighting, who survived, who remember their brothers, remember what they fought for. And one of the more bitter cruelties, bitter ironies of this day and age is so many of the folks, the young men in particular, that stormed the beaches of Normandy, so many on the left, especially those freaks at UC Berkeley, would probably consider them just as bad as the Nazis they were going to fight. That's how screwy things are these days. But alas, that's where We are. Then the president and the vice president delivered remarks at Arlington National Cemetery on this Veterans Day. So let's start with the vice president, J.D. Vance. Vance, of course, yesterday was visiting wounded veterans, wounded service members at Walter Reed, and going through, actually having some of them show the rehabilitation process they're going through, as well as, the new prosthetics, the new technology that they have there to help folks out who have suffered loss in war. And so this is the vice president's speech this morning at Arlington National Cemetery. It's not that long of a speech, about 3.5 minutes. I say we watch it together. Here it is.
You're doing a great job at the VA, and I want to say just a couple of things. I've learned a couple of things from working so closely with the President of the United States. The first thing is that he loves our nation's veterans and has committed our nation's administration to putting our veterans first every single day. And the second thing I've learned about the President of the United States is that he really hates when somebody who's speaking before him goes on for too long. And so with that in mind, I have prepared a very brief and very inspiring 1 hour and 45-minute speech on this beautiful Veterans Day out here in the cold. But let me just give 3 very brief messages. First, to our nation's veterans, thank you. Thank you for serving and sacrificing. We've all got so many good stories of people that we served with over the years. During my 4 years of the Marine Corps, I met the very best of America, people who are willing to put on a uniform and risk their lives for their entire country. Just yesterday morning, I met people who lost limbs, who lost very, very important family members, who lost their psychological health, going out there and serving the United States of America. So whether you gave a little bit or whether you gave a lot, every single person who put on the uniform of this nation deserves our gratitude on this day especially, but every day. And so from the Vice President and the entire administration to our nation's veterans, thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for making us proud every single day. The second message is to the nation's political leaders. I happen to believe that the most valuable resource that we have isn't the incredible wealth of natural resources of this country, as amazing as it is. The most important natural resource that we have is that we have hundreds of thousands of young people every single month who sign up to put on the uniform and risk their lives for their fellow citizens. That is a resource we cannot squander. That is a resource we must protect. And so to every elected official who's here today, our obligation, our sacred responsibility to our veterans is to make sure that the American military is the bravest and best fighting force anywhere in the world, and to make sure that every time we ask our nation's military to go off to war, we give them the training, we give them the resources, and we give them what they need to kick the enemy's rear end and to come back home safely and quickly. That is our obligation to you. And my third and final message to the American people, I'm asked all the time how to best honor our veterans. And this day in particular gives you an opportunity, and it doesn't have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be complicated. If you find yourself at a restaurant this evening and you see somebody wearing a uniform, buy them a meal if you're able, or buy them a beer. If you see a veteran of our nation's armed forces, if you know somebody in your family, give them a call and say thank you. I heard already this morning from my mother-in-law who sent me a message early California time, and it touched my heart. Just knowing that we have loved ones who recognize our service, who care about it, and who care enough to go out and say thank you. So to the American people, if we want to keep on ensuring that the very best and brightest sign up for our military, the very best way to do it is to make sure that the veterans know that we are grateful to them. Well,
Again, that is J.D. Vance just this morning there at Arlington National Cemetery. Again, the president spoke after him. We will play some of that in just a moment. But of course, before the laying of the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. And apparently the training to become a guard there is just intensive, rigorous process, can last from 6 to 12 months, involves several phases, tests, significant personal sacrifice. Candidates must meet strict physical standards, volunteer for the position, and then pass a series of tests covering knowledge of the cemetery, uniform perfection, and precision in their walking and guard change routines. The training includes memorizing 17 pages of knowledge, flawless uniform preparation, and demonstrating military bearing and discipline, with a failure in any test resulting in the loss of the opportunity. Yeah, it's rare that in such a secular world you get truly vow-based, intense jobs of devotion. Yeah, you can look at, I just finished a book on, say, the Reformation and that whole time period there in the 16th century across Western Europe. And there were many orders of monks and all sorts of folks that took every little aspect of what they were doing very, very seriously. And then the secular age, you don't see as much of that. Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. We don't have as many monks and people being more straightforward and productive. But there's also something that can be lost in terms of the ceremony and seeing the example, knowing what these guards do in order to honor this tomb. And I'm looking at a FAQ there on the tomb of the unknown soldier. And apparently the tomb guards work on a 3 relief rotation, 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 96 hours off. However, over the years, it's been different. And apparently it takes the average sentinel 8 hours to prep their uniform for the next workday. Additionally, they have physical training, tomb guard training, and haircuts to complete before the next workday. Again, I would just suggest, if you haven't gone and looked it up, check out the president visiting and the laying of the wreath there. For all the things you could say about Donald Trump, and there are many things people say, it's one of these moments where I don't care who's president. It's something that should be honored and considered a sacred duty. Now, speaking of the president, he spoke after the vice president. Here is a little bit of what he was throwing down this morning.
Remember with overwhelming gratitude the more than 1 million American service members who have made the supreme sacrifice and laid down their lives for the good old USA. Generation after generation, America's warriors have left behind the comforts of home and family to face violence, evil, and death so that our families could know joy, goodness, and peace. We honor them so strongly. Our heroes have lived through unthinkable nightmares so we could live the American dream. And the American dream is coming back again, stronger than ever before. And you'll see that as the next few years evolve. They have volunteered to give their last breaths to all of us so that we could breathe free. And today we know without any doubt in our hearts that after 2.5 centuries, America stands tall because America's veterans stood so strong.
The president's right. I have nothing to add to that one in particular. Now he's going to go into some of the practical stuff that has been done in the first 9-10 months of his administration regarding reforms, helping veterans, in particular, the backlog of VA benefit claims, and so much else. Let's listen in to the president lay out what he sees are his team's accomplishments.
Leadership, we're also fighting for the great veterans who have always been there for us, and especially when we needed them and needed them most. In 9 months, the Trump administration has cut the backlog of VA benefit claims in half. That's a big achievement, and Doug is going to get it down to 0. During the Biden administration, the backlog exploded like we had never seen before, and I'm going to eliminate 100% of that backlog. We're moving at that pace, and already We've processed more than 3 million backlog claims, the most of any year in the history of the VA. We've added more than 1 million extra service hours across the VA centers, and we've opened 20 new facilities in 13 states, something that people said just not possible to do. We also have brought back VA choice and VA accountability, taken away by the Biden administration, so that when you have to wait online, you go out and you get yourself a doctor. We pay for the doctor if you have to wait. And the other thing is we fired thousands of people who didn't take care of our great veterans. They were sadists, they were sick people, they were thieves, they were everything you want to name, and we got rid of over 9,000 of them. And then when Biden came in, he hired them back, many of them, but we got rid of them. And I think we got rid of them permanently. We replaced them with people who love our veterans, not people who are sick people.
Well, I find that hard to argue with. Though I'm sure somebody will pull something out of their backside to say, no, that's not true, and it was great, and all this other stuff. But Trump ends his speech there at Arlington with this flourish. Let's listen in together.
The very beginning of our country, our great American flag has always been shielded and protected by a special cast of citizens who has stepped forward to safeguard liberty's cause. When danger came, when duty called, when Almighty God asked, who had the will and the strength to defend the land of the free, each and every American veteran stood up and said, here I am, send me, here I am. They've come from every corner of this nation, from the cornfields of Iowa to the hills and valleys of California, from the steel towns of Pennsylvania to the vast plains of Texas, from the banks of the mighty Mississippi to the 5 boroughs of New York City. With selfless commitment and unyielding conviction, they made themselves America's ramparts and became the shield between our homeland and those who would do us harm. With everything they had, they did one thing above all else. They put America first. And from
here. Again, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, and 272-9228 if you want to reflect on this day, especially something extra to it, given this 250th birthday anniversary coming up, not only for many of the armed services, but the nation itself. Again, 272-9228 if you want to comment on this day. Before I hit this break, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings, and they have a message of gratitude. They're feeling thankful today there at Dillon Rings. I just want to say thank you to all who joined us for our ladies' night. I was there. It was a great time. They had a great time. We had a great time. It was such a success that Dillon Rings wants to extend some of the sale prices until Christmas Eve. You can get up to 50% off select merchandise. They will also still have some estate trunk showpieces there for a little while longer at Dillon Rings. So stop by, come see these before they're sold or recalled. There's only 37 more shopping days until Christmas. The countdown has begun. Better get here fast and get your shopping done soon. Yeah, don't wait, especially you gentlemen that like to procrastinate. Don't wait. Get by Dillon Rings today. They are a true full-service jewelry shop. We'll tell you more about that a little later in the program, but if you're looking to get that Christmas shopping done, especially with some of these great 50% off deals on select merchandise all the way to Christmas Eve, just stop by today at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. That's just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie when you stop by that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Finding affordable health coverage for your family shouldn't take a treasure map or a magic genie. You just have to know where to look. Guardian Insurance Services is making it even easier during open enrollment with simple, affordable plans that fit your family and your budget. Good coverage is just a few clicks away. But don't wait. Open enrollment is only for a limited time. Visit myguardiancu.com/health and get started today.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Approximately 40 minutes.
Taxes is feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax, NYC opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Live local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Back. Let's go right to the phone lines and talk to TS. Hey, TS, how are you doing today?
I'm quite well. And you, Joey?
Good. Doing good.
Good. I'd like to honor my parents.
Okay.
They served in World War II, stateside. Mom was an RN with the Army, and Dad was a pilot in the Air Force. And it's kind of cool. They met and got married. They flew to Wichita Falls and got married in a military wedding. And I just wanted to honor them today. Ann Simpson and Charles Duncan Simpson Jr. Yeah.
I love
cool.
it.
Go ahead.
I know. I love it. And I'm also just imagining probably not in a detailed way, but I'm just imagining the love story of like a nurse falling for a pilot and vice versa. And just what a story I'd imagine behind that life they live.
Well, I have all their letters in a box. And some people have said, don't open them. You're disrespecting them by doing that. But I would learn so much from their letters written back and forth to each other because I don't know a lot. My mom died in my 20s and my dad died in his 30s. So I love you, Mom and Dad. They watch over me every day. On another thought, do you have that full article on how the soldiers the unknown soldiers.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
Do you have that long, really informative clip?
No, not right here in front of me, no.
Okay, I'll send it to you. They live in barracks when they're serving. They live in barracks underground underneath the tomb.
Yeah, it's about an 18th-month tour, I believe.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'll try to remember to send it to you. And Radio Land out there, if you have not read Joey Clark's opinion today about 6-7, you really, really need to. It's quite informative, and it's not exceptionally long. Well, have a happy Veterans Day, Joey. Thanks for your time.
You too, TS. God bless.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Reed, pastor here in Montgomery.
Hey, Reed.
I just wanted to call in, Joey, and observe something about the U.S. military that gives me a deep gratefulness. In the history of the world, it is quite common for military forces to end up monkeying with freedom of the people they're supposed to be protecting. In America, we've got 250 years of reputation for ability and integrity, protecting our rights and our freedoms. And that's a record that's quite impressive and something to be grateful for.
Amen. And aren't the best fighters in the world free men at the end of the day?
Amen.
Amen. Well, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. 272-9228. Again, I got to hit another break, but if you want to keep these coming in, if you want to honor the military, honor a particular veteran that you know could be a friend, family member, want to tell their story a little bit, again, that's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro Ashley. And that great team are ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. You should already be signed up for their monthly subscription, basic pest control service. And you can, of course, add on top of that, but it's a great way to control pest control costs throughout the year. You can actually budget for it. And you'll probably, especially if you're living out in the country a little bit, in the county a little bit, you probably are going to need some wildlife control service. And Pest Pro Services now has wildlife control service here in Alabama, here in the river region. What they do are detailed inspections to find entry points and activity areas, because wildlife can cause property damage, health risk, and stress if they move into spaces they don't belong, like your walls, your attic, God forbid. And, of course, what they're going to do is not only get the little critter out if it's already there, they are then going to be doing follow-up checks, making sure that they're finding all the access points, entry-exit points that these animals are using to get in. And they'll even start to do an assessment of surrounding conditions that may be attracting wildlife to your home, inside your home in the first place. So if you're looking for this great service, especially in these cooler months, it was actually chilly today, but in fall, winter months, those little critters are going to try to find a warm place. It better not be your place. Have Pest Pro Services help you out with that wildlife control. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. But I say just call them direct. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Get ready to fall into savings at Royal Furniture. Power reclining sofas from just $15 a month. Dining sets starting at $12 a month. And recliners from only $8 a month. Enjoy up to 60 months, no interest with no down payment at the time of purchase with approved credit. And get a free queen mattress with any in-stock bedroom set priced $9.99 or more. Incredible value and service are waiting for you at Royal Furniture in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, and 11 other locations across Alabama and Tennessee. All credit offers subject to credit approval. See store for details.
We work with a lot of clients over the years, like a lot of clients. And the one thing we've learned is that every client deserves more.
More attention, more dedication, more results.
That's why we opened Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Take real estate to the next level.
Here, it's not about us. It's about you, your goals, your dreams, your success.
Buying, selling, or investing, we built this brokerage to work harder and smarter for you. So give Eddie Bader a call, 334-322-0662.
Or give me, Hannah Grantham, a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you how real estate is done.
Hey, this is Troop with Fairland Jewelers. I've been advertising at Blue Water for going on 3 years now. Since starting advertising at Blue Water, we have seen our business grow exponentially. And if you would like to see your your business grow. I suggest advertising at Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Markets are taking the latest step toward ending the government shutdown in stride. The Senate passed legislation last night to reopen the government. The bill now goes to the House, where approval is expected. Then it's on to President Trump for his signature. China's largest online sales festival, dubbed Singles Day, is getting longer as retailers try to entice frugal shoppers to spend more money. This year's 5-week festival will end later this week. Analysts expect shoppers to focus on necessities rather than big-ticket luxury items. Japanese technology giant SoftBank has sold its stake in NVIDIA, raising $5.8 billion. Will put that money into other investments. Tokyo-based SoftBank Group says it sold its stake in NVIDIA last month. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After record-breaking temperatures overnight last night, today will be a very chilly Veterans Day, about 20 degrees too cold for this time of the year, with a high temperature only up to about 54. Clear skies. Could we flirt with a freeze again tonight? It's not out of the question. Tomorrow, we start a turnaround with sunshine and a high in the upper 60s for Wednesday, back to the 70s Thursday through Saturday, in fact, even Sunday. The next chance of showers holding off till Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to James. Hey, James, how are you doing?
I'm okay, Joey.
Good to hear.
This is probably one of those places where maybe I should just keep my mouth shut, but this is for TS, and I have an opinion on the letters.
Yeah.
And of course, my opinion is of no more weight than anybody else's, and I can see what she said, or people had said to her that she would somehow be disrespecting her parents by opening the letters and reading them. But in a way of looking at it, I believe she's trying to learn more about her parents on an individual basis and her family history. So the way I see it is that she would be honoring them by looking, reading those letters. I mean,
Amen. I agree with you, man.
Of course, she can look for guidance through prayer as to what to do. And then, out there, occasionally, I still run into World War II era individuals here in the river region, and veterans, those that served. So, and of course, my father was a veteran as well, but that's just my thoughts.
And it is fascinating, isn't it not, of the different eras? So the World War II veteran or Korean War veteran has a slightly different experience and story to tell than certainly the Vietnam guys. I know from my grandfather's own experience, as we talked with Major Capers the other day, just the response when they came home, it wasn't exactly pretty. But then you fast forward to the folks who did a lot of the fighting in the early 2000s in Afghanistan and Iraq and all over, and it's the lessons and the stories that come from all I think heroes all should be honored. But it's interesting to see how sometimes I think we as a nation drop the ball in honoring these folks in certain eras.
Well, of course, part of that is because of the spin that was put on the effort and the reason for it. In other words, I think the way the Vietnam era gentlemen and ladies were treated on their return was a little different.
Oh yeah.
In different pockets of this country, but again, it was because of the spin that was put on it, and all of the, in other words, the information or disinformation that was out there about what was going on. Of course, anything that I would have would be secondhand. Joey, I appreciate the time, man, and you have a nice day, and happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. Thanks, James. Again, it's 272-9228, 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. As I mentioned earlier, the legacy of Charlie Kirk continues with this Turning Point USA tour. And a little later in the show, I want to play some clips that Erica Kirk herself shared about Charlie. But also more and more, like, people are still furnishing and curating old clips of Charlie arguing with folks, but also having, I think, just genuine discussions with folks, not even an argument, really. Try to communicate. And it is remarkable that this young man's influence, translated the right way, literally Charlie Church, is sending millions back to their Bibles and millions back to their churches. And, you know, there's certain moments in this, the boomers may not get it, but maybe you will. I think my dad, who's a boomer, would get it. But one of the characters from my childhood and being a teenager and going to college and stuff, you start to see these luminaries. Like if you came up in the 70s and the 80s, you're probably going to think of Bill Murray and Chevy Chase and all these comedic actors. But one that was always, and he was a bit of a meme for a while because of, I think, his role in The Water Boy and in so many Adam Sandler movies, all his little cameos, is Rob Schneider. And, Rob just did a great appearance with Donnell Rawlings on Kill Tony. Very funny guy. And, I mean, he's not exactly a wilting flower when it comes to dirty topics and foul language and all this stuff. But what's fascinating to watch are these funny people, these comedians who have been, fixtures, especially for a millennial like I. When I look at, like, Rob Schneider, I'm thinking, you can do it. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about all the great roles he's had. But Rob has become quite a champion for liberty and for God, for the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Rob Schneider last night at UC Berkeley as people are acting like lunatics because they're trained to do that. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at Berkeley. This is in part what Rob Schneider was saying inside.
Have a foundational belief in God. There is nothing this world can do to you.
Nothing. Let me hear that again.
If you have a foundational belief in God, there is nothing this world can do to you. Nothing. Nothing. You will have that. And God could take away your family. He could bring you another family. It's unbelievable. You look at the Bible and go, oh, how could people have put up with that? How did Job go like, okay, yeah, I'll get another family. Thank you, God. I'm not going to worry about it. What? We'd all freak out. I'd freak out.
But nothing can affect you if you do have that foundational belief. I mean, you'll go through it. You might have some doubts at moments. But it's just fascinating to see, like, all these cultural figures are coming back home, if you could put it that way. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Ben, the B-Man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day, sir.
Everybody out there.
Well, what's on your mind today? We're on there.
Just remembering friends and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you how much I enjoy your show, the Greg Boudel show in the morning and in the afternoons. And then those folks that do the show in the middle afternoons, I think from 12 to where, you know,
Or the 9 to noon folks?
yeah,
Yeah, Scott Beese
There you
and
go.
Alabama Unfiltered, yeah.
yeah. I enjoy the station very much.
Thank you for that. Really appreciate that.
I did 23 years in the Air Force.
Thank
My wife did 4. So we know what it's like to be a veteran. And I also know what it's like to go to war. And lost a couple friends in wartime. At a couple places that I can't talk about. But the most important day to me is not a celebration of those who lived through it, but those who passed in serving it. Memorial Day.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, but it's always moving. The wreath laying at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I don't care who the president is. It's always a moving thing to watch.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yes, sir. Well,
And I've walked Arlington, and I got some friends buried there.
well, thank God and thank them that we have the nation we do have. It's got a lot of problems, but we also should be eternally grateful for what we do have. And especially the folks, the sacrifices, the ultimate sacrifice, as well as many sacrifices, big and small, that so many have made to make it what it is.
Exactly. Not perfect, but hey, we're working on it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
How about? Again, 272-9228 if you want to reflect on this Veterans Day. Troy Carrico will be stopping by, second day in a row. I thought, Eddie's busy today. El Milliner is busy today, and it's Veterans Day. Let's bring on one of the more vocal and enthusiastic and insightful, I will say, veterans I know, Mr. Carrico. So it should just be a little while before he stops by, and we'll keep this party going, if you can call it a party. This part of the program brought to you by Cole Plumbing, and their Cole Plumbing, James Cole and the entire team are ready to help you out. It could be a small plumbing problem, like a drippy faucet. That's no fun. Or a runny toilet, maybe a clogged drain. These are basic things, but you might not be able to handle them yourself, especially like the clogged drain stuff. Like you throw some nasty, like corrosive chemicals down there once, and it doesn't work, stop pouring all the Drano down the drain. You're just destroying your pipes. You're destroying your garbage disposal in particular. Don't do that. Instead, call up Cole Plumbing. They can help you with those everyday plumbing problems, or maybe you have a major problem like a massive water leak or a gas line leak. They can understand that time is of the essence in those situations. Get out there and fix the problem with minimal discomfort to you in your home. They have the technology that allows them to get the job done with precision expertise without having to tear out a bunch of drywall or dig up a huge hole in your yard or make a big old mess in general. Now, again, they can do it with precision expertise, and they can also, of course, help you upgrade. Maybe you need a new garbage disposal. Maybe it's time for a tankless water heater system. Maybe it's time for a very fancy, like Japanese toilet or something. I don't know. They can help you out there. So y'all check them out today. You can always make an appointment online at coleplumbing.com. But I encourage you to save their number, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Need some extra cash? Gold and silver are at an all-time high. Turn your old coins, currency, or gold and silver into money at Trademark Coins and Currency, the only coin shop in the River Region with over 40 years of experience. Veteran owned and operated, and proudly serving Montgomery from their location off Vaughn Road. Trademark Coins and Currency is always buying, and free appraisals means there's no pressure, just real value. Make an appointment today. Learn more at trademarkcoinsandcurrency.com. Trademark Coins and Currency. Experience you can count on.
Live local talk. the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Sticking on this theme here, I want to continue going on with the Charlie Kirk thing. Erica Kirk just released this video of her husband. And this is where Charlie is saying, well, not just like go back to church. He's calling for churches to actually stand up, have a backbone. Well, I'll let him put it in his own words.
I believe Christian charities and churches should step up and feed and to clothe and to be a helping hand, not government. In fact, we used to be a country that we had a lot more private charities going and helping people in need.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I would make a contention, if the government cut all of its social welfare, every church would step up to make sure that no kid went hungry in this country and that no kid would die of starvation.
I would love if my tax dollars went to helping people who needed food. That's my argument here.
Well,
I think
it does. Over $1 trillion a year goes to food stamps and SNAP and Medicaid.
Perfect.
So,
and I'm glad with
no,
that.
but actually it doesn't help them nearly as much as you think. Let me tell you why. Because then we subsidize bad eating habits of the poor. So that the working poor is very obese, so they go buy Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Frito-Lays. And the church is not involved, where the church would then say, hey, instead of going to the local grocery store with a bunch of food stamps and SNAP benefits, why don't you come by our church and we'll feed all of you and a much more healthy meal made by our own members, and then you can hear the gospel afterwards. That's the church in practice.
If Jesus fed people for free, taught people for free, and healed people for free, why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Yeah, like that should be the basic idea. And I've made this point many a time myself. Like when the government takes over these functions, one of the more tragic things that happens is that organic network, a private network of support and fellowship and in general communion with people, helping people. A lot of that goes away. Why do it? The government's already taken care of it. Why do it as much? Because there's already this bureaucracy there. As you just heard him say, trillions of dollars being transferred down. And yet we've lost that in many ways. You think of the roots that were laid down by founding generations. Hospitals, universities, so much, so many major institutions are religious. They have a religious basis. They have a Christian basis. And yet you look around at everything, all those institutions, some still exist in that way, and God bless them. But the more and more the secular is trying to act like the boss of the religious, I think the more we're building the Tower of Babel, that we are turning men into bricks, making them uniform, cookie cutter, and putting them all together. But at a certain point, you have to say, for what? And to what end? 272-9228. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation on this Veterans Day, I appreciate all the calls in the first hour here. And if you have somebody you know, a friend or a family member, or it's just something about the day that you're reflecting on and you want to share with the listening audience, again, that's 334-272-9228. Let's hit our top of the hour break here. I believe I'm seeing him walking out, Mr. Carrico, Troy Carrico, already here. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump took part in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier today at Arlington National Cemetery. He told all veterans that the country will never forget what they've done to keep the country sovereign, safe, and free. The Senate has voted to end the longest-running government shutdown in U.S. history, and it now goes back to the House, which will need to approve that bill again, even though it originated there, because a few changes were made in the Senate. Once the House adds its final congressional approval on the bill, goes to President Trump and his expected signature. Some cold weather in the eastern part of the country last night. The National Weather Service says states from Mississippi to the east saw a number of record low temperatures overnight. Stocks opened mixed today on Wall Street as investors digested Monday's tech-led rally, and they await House action to end the shutdown. More on these stories at srnnews.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After record-breaking temperatures overnight last night, today will be a very chilly Veterans Day, about 20 degrees too cold for this time of the year, with a high temperature only up to about 54. Clear skies. Could we flirt with a freeze again tonight? It's not out of the question. Tomorrow, we start a turnaround with sunshine and a high in the upper 60s for Wednesday, back to the 70s Thursday through Saturday, in fact, even Sunday. The next chance of showers holding off till Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery man was killed in a collision involving a train on Monday. The incident happened just before noon in the area of Davenport Parkway and Bowman Street, where a passenger vehicle collided with a train. The driver of the vehicle, 57-year-old Steve Smith, was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the accident remains under investigation. The former Winn-Dixie store on East Main Street in Prattville has reopened as a Piggly Wiggly. Employees at the store were offered jobs and have remained through the transition. Winn-Dixie locations in Montgomery and Wetumpka will soon become Piggly Wiggly Food for Less stores as well. The sale of the Winn-Dixie in Millbrook is still pending. Governor Kay Ivey has chosen a new justice to fill a vacancy on the Alabama Supreme Court. Will Parker, a longtime legal advisor to the governor, will fill the seat left vacant by Bill Lewis. Newly appointed Judge Parker started in the governor's office in 2017 and has served as Governor Ivey's general counsel since December 2019. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Your nightly news begins with Fox 20 News at 9.
We start Fox 20 News at 9 with breaking news.
Putting Montgomery news first. Covering your news from all sides. Fox 20 News at 9 is Montgomery's original 9 p.m. news. Live reports from your community. Don't wait till 10. See what's making news tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. If it's happening in the capital city, it's happening on Fox 20 News at 9. Coverage you can count on.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico joining the show now.
Hola. What is this? Is this song number? This is Lazy Day song number.
No, just my song 38. Okay. This is number 38. Yeah, that was. I remember all the songs, the days that I made them.
Really?
I remember being there in the moment making that stuff. Yeah, it's weird how it works that way.
I find it quite interesting that you do your own bumper music, and I can tell it means something to you. It's an expressive outlet for you.
Yeah, it's I would call it a hobby.
Well,
but maybe I'll double down on that as things continue to change in life. And again, folks, 272-9228, if you have a comment or a memory you want to share, somebody in family or friend, a veteran you would like to honor.
Yeah.
And in fact, you were talking about wanting to do that. Are you ready to go on that?
Could we do that in the final
hour? We can.
Yeah, because his sister, my mother-in-law, will talk on it for a minute. Yeah, thanks.
We can hold off for a second.
But I do want to comment about the conversation earlier for all your listeners. So the drill and ceremony unit, or the ceremonial unit of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Joey, is called the 3rd Infantry Regiment. It's called the Old Guard. And it is a very, you're right. You read what you read on the on the requisites and all that. That's true. But there's also some unwritten things. You got to have backing from your most senior NCO, like a command sergeant major. These are the best of the best that can do this. And it's fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, and like I was saying, it moves me every time. I don't care if it's Trump or Obama or Biden or anybody.
Doesn't matter who's there.
Yeah. And I know sometimes folks let the politics and the partisanships bleed through. I'm like, no, that's sacred ground.
Absolutely.
Right there. And to see, like, you think I'm off base in like this day and age, you don't see too many people that take on such a detailed oriented heavy duty, like where it is the ceremony is the point of it.
So there are several units in the United States Army and in other service branches that are dedicated ceremonial units. For instance, we have the 7th Cav recreation, that they're actually a unit that travels around the country, a world, and demonstrate. We have the Army Black Knights, which are the parachute jumpers. We have the Old Guard. It's called the Colonial Old Guard, which is the fife, the drums, and all that. And that's all they do. That's all they do. And because, Joey, we talked about this before we came on the air today, ceremony, pomp and circumstance, and flag symbolism matters to organizations that are warriors, and
Right.
it's an ethos that we carry.
Well, and we're still Americans, and we're still as creative as ever, and we like I can't imagine just the amazing like mashup videos or hype up videos and the music you're listening to and stuff. But they even have like all the new stuff. Like, have you seen some of what the Department of Homeland Security is throwing out
listen,
there?
they've kind of they've upped their game, man.
Like the PSYOP stuff that you've sent me.
Ghost in the Machine's the best.
Yeah, and so we can still do that modern cutting, like even gnarly sort of
high-tech stuff. Yeah.
But then to have that tradition where you don't lose somebody playing the drum in the fight.
It's crazy.
At the same time, there that continuity being kept and having dedicated units and people that are doing these things is it's about keeping the flame.
I can tell you this. Robin would tell you this. I am a stickler about. I know all the lineage. I pride myself in nomenclature and in lineage of this unit. And that used to be the 13th Infantry Regiment from the Seminole Wars. And it's just you learn that you're the sum of your parts. But if you don't know what part you are in the big machine, then it's kind of lost on you. And I would argue that people who serve, most of them are serving because they volunteered. So don't you want to know what you're in? And so I can tell you this, every year, every unit I was ever in, we spent a lot of time, a couple days a year on history, lineage, on our the banners we have and all the battle banners we've had from previous wars, because that stuff matters.
Amen.
If you're willing to die for something, you need to know what you're dying for.
Well, and also I'd want to just say a thank you to all the veterans, and I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I've known a lot of veterans in my life that were very quiet about it. Like if you didn't really get to know them, you wouldn't have even known they had served in a certain way. And there's all sorts of reasons for that. Like you spend 3-4 years and then you get out and if you can, I've learned you can pull stories still from those folks, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, you know what's funny, and I'm glad you brought that up. There's a malaise right now in veteran nation, as I call it, with these guys and gals that only served 3-4 years. Well, I'm not a vet. Yes, you are a veteran. I don't care if you served 4 years in the Army National Guard. You were deployable. You were ready to roll. And I try to tell them. So I talked to Admiral Davis on the way, and he's down in Mobile at the event down there for the veterans. And he may call in a little later, just since he is still the de facto leader of veterans in his state. If you talk to him, he told me, he said, Troy, what's going on right now is we're discovering that of the 440,000 that we have registered as veterans in the state of Alabama, there's probably an equal amount that aren't registered.
Right.
That's powerful when you think about that block of almost 800,000. And we know from federal elections, Joey, that 1.75 votes usually follows that veterans vote, a family vote. That's a block of power that is so decentralized. If we can find a way to crack that, it could be a formidable force.
Here. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, drop down and do me 40. Can you do 40?
He could. Joey could do 50.
I'm not good.
Joey, I don't mean a 40 beer bottle. You know.
I mean push up.
Yes, I know he could. But Soldier Boy, could you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good.
I mean, I'm in training, baby.
I'm just making sure you're not doing 12-ounce curls. That's all.
Well, I had two things I want to talk about. First of all, I had a guy in the Air Force that came in, and he was on a special duty assignment, and he did the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
You know what? I did not. I had no idea there was branch detailing in that.
I didn't know. Yeah,
I didn't. I don't. Yeah, I would have said that's not true. But if you say it, then it must be. So.
Oh yeah. Because we wore our mess dress uniform and everything.
Interesting.
And
very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Well, thanks for sharing.
He was sharp in everything he did. You see him in the NCO Academy. I was like, oh my, this is going to be a hard guy to come out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to graduate first in my class. And next thing I know, I was like, oh God, here we come, Mr. Sharp in here.
Yeah. Competition, baby.
Well, I volunteered. My dad passed away. He did 31 years in the Air Force.
Thank you for his service.
He was a crew chief for the first black general in the Air Force, General Chappie James, on the F-4C.
Yep.
And he used to take my dad flying because it's a 2-seater. And he'd say, "Hey, Rod, do you want to go flying?" He goes, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because Dad's a crew chief, and he's a chief master sergeant."
Wow.
How many? You don't find that in crew chiefs. Most
no,
crew
you
chiefs
don't.
are like staff and techs, maybe. You know.
Yeah. That was the old Air Force. That was the old Air Force too. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit. Yeah. It was a little less.
Dad, and he told my dad. He says, He says, you trust I'm flying it. You fixed it. He says, and you can come fly with me. And my dad said, no problem.
Yeah.
But when Dad passed away, and I asked for this, the honor guard to come out. You talk about a humbling.
Yeah,
they had the 12. Was it the 12 gun salute?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
They picked up all the brass. They picked up all the brass with white gloves, handed that along with the flag to my mother, and my mother gave me the shell casings. There were blanks, of course, but he handed over the brass and also the flag to me, so I could have my retirement flag next to his.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
In our house, my house, my dad, I have his frame, his retirement. Was signed by the president. It's probably like a Joe Biden. We call it that signature.
Yeah, auto pen. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter.
Auto pen. I'm sure he didn't really sign it. But you know what? Here's the thing about it is, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to be hated for it. Okay. I'm just not a big fan sometimes of people saying thank you for your service. Okay. Instead of just saying and talking it, I'm a doer, not a talker. You know what I'm saying? What have you done? Who was our last congressman, that female congressman we had here?
Martha Roby.
I asked her one time. She said, well, thank you for our service. I said, Martha, what have you done for us?
It's a perfunctory. Listen, Soldier Boy,
thinking.
It's a perfunctory, but at least they acknowledge it. Let me say.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, let me say something.
You know the average percentage of the population served the military? I was totally shocked. Like I didn't guess it.
Yeah. There's various percentages. 20%, 10%. There's 5%, but
1 to 2% have actually served.
I think it's a little higher than that. But at any rate, Soldier Boy, check it out. You're not alone when you say, Joey, I'm going to tell you this. When I would go through the airport in Atlanta, coming back, and I'm in uniform, people would stop, try to buy me a beer, whatever. I became embarrassed. I found myself becoming embarrassed wearing it because I didn't want attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't ever grudge somebody who says thank you. I'm like, well, thank you. You're welcome. It's an honor to serve you. And the thing is, but I'm with you. I get your reasoning, because here's the deal. And Admiral Davis will tell you this. A lot of people talk a good game about supporting veterans, but when it comes time to pony up and put the money out in the support, it's not there. And that's
I got the best joke for you. I was in the military in '85. Yeah. We still had the wheel caps, not the flight caps.
Yep.
We had the flight caps. We had the wheel hats. Right?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So I had my service dress. I'm leaving Biloxi, getting on a bus. Right.
Right.
Kid looks up and he says, "Look, Mommy, it's the mailman."
Oh my God. Well, the Air Force is sort of like the mail service.
She said, "I am so sorry." I said, "Don't worry."
That's funny. That's funny.
She looked at me and I said, "Look, Mommy, it's the mailman."
You should have said, "I've never visited your mommy as the mailman."
Did you know the post office has been delivering mail since 1775?
Yes, they have.
Even before our Constitution. That's what shocks me.
Mail was one of the most important part. The Department of Postal Service was without a doubt a legitimacy for our government. So in terms of a fledgling government. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just surprised when they said it was 1775. I'm like, good God, even before that. Well, guys,
thank you for your service, brother.
Troy, thank you for your service.
No, thank you, Dad. Your dad too. Your dad too. God bless you. Hey, you know what I say, Soldier Boy? It takes a bunch of us to make it happen. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soldier.
Good family.
And he unwedged a memory, it wasn't just the grandfather I'm living with who served. Now, 30 years, retired lieutenant colonel.
Right.
My other grandfather did for a little while, and he met my grandmother, my dad's mother, Helen. And Helen, she was my grandmother. Like, she never talked about the military or the Air Force.
Really?
Yeah. And she died late 2019, right before COVID.
Okay.
And probably September of 2019, something like that.
She was one of the early ones, yeah.
And we're out there at the cemetery, out off Atlanta Highway, down near Lake Chantilly.
Yep.
And it just took me aback. 2 men in uniform, Air Force, show up with the flag. They also had a thing where it played. They didn't literally play the trumpet,
taps,
but it still played it
taps.
as
a recorder. Yeah.
And I have to say, it floored me. Like I was in tears seeing 80, like, okay, she gets out in her 20s, 60 something years later, they remember.
That's owed her,
and they showed
her
up.
service, brother. That, and somebody, thank God, someone in your family had the gumption to call, because there's details all around the country that will arrange it for you. It's part of their honor to do for you. So, hey, man, your family served a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
How old are you? You're still young enough to get a direct commission. You could become a chaplain. You could become a chaplain in the military.
Like a non-denominational one.
Yeah, like interfaith.
Right. Well, I'm not going full Unitarian. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, you're on there.
Hey, this is Chief.
Hey.
This is Keith from River Region Veterans Coalition.
Chief, what's up?
Keith.
How you doing?
Keith, I thought, listen, there's a chief too that's a veteran, but he hangs out in Pentlaw. What's up, brother?
Oh, just coming from the parade downtown and the event at Biscuit Stadium, the resource fair and the ceremony.
Yep.
Wanted to give you all a little bit of intel. It went well.
How was the turnout? How was the turnout on the parade? Was it better this year?
It was good. It was better than last year, I think. And appreciative of all the people who braved the cold and came out and waved at us and celebrated Veterans Day with us. So it was good.
Good.
And it was good to see all the different units that participated. There was even a motorcycle and sidecar in the parade. And
That's cool.
And an old Army Jeep.
That's cool.
So a lot of bands. I think at least 5 high school bands were there, and Pike Road had their band, and a few other schools, and love to see the band come out and play. The Marine Corps League was there.
Good.
There was a group called Peers of the American Legion.
Yes.
That came out. And then, of course, we were there. Rivik was there.
Yep.
I'm always wanting greater participation, so I'm not easily satisfied. But it was a good event.
Well, good.
I'm happy we had it.
So the Admiral, as you know, is down at the Mobile event. I just spoke to him. I'm glad you called in. Joey had me come in today unexpectedly, and I thought that it was fitting because of Veterans Day. So I'm glad you called. What up for River? So I'm a member of RRVC too, and Keith has been working tirelessly along with a couple other folks, including the Admiral and his name escapes me. Your third compadre. Chuck, yeah. They work hard, and we have grown from a fledgling group to almost, we're having consistently well above 50 people to 60 to 70 people attend each meeting, so it's good.
Yeah. It's very gratifying to see so many coming. And, this coming month, or this month, the 24th, we have Commander Mark Fields from Mobile, from the USS Alabama.
That's right.
I expect that's going to be a tremendous
that's going to be a good one.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to say something in answer to what you were saying about tangible things that people can do besides just saying thank you for your service. Sunday afternoon, former coach Bruce Pearl spoke at Frazier, and they had a panel of military that were talking about deployments and the way the church had helped them through those things. And, some very good ideas were mentioned, things that probably most people don't think about. If you know someone's deploying, volunteer to pick up their mail, mow their grass, maybe
check on their house. Check on their house regularly.
Yeah. So they don't come back to a dead battery.
Yeah.
Send care packages. My gosh, anybody who's ever been in the military knows how important mail is.
Yep.
And, you get a care package and people like swamp you to raid the box.
Cigars.
And devour all the stuff. But, that is so important. We're going to look into doing that with Rivik, is trying to
That's a
find
great
out
idea.
when there's
That's a great idea. That's an
enlistment.
excellent idea.
Yeah. Sending them a thank you card while they're at basic or something.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Some form of appreciation. Yeah.
Well,
so, just a few ideas.
Well, I appreciate the report on downtown, and I think it's a great idea. And let's not lose our momentum here. Y'all are always welcome. Troy, of course, but all y'all are always welcome here on the show.
Well, I thank you for all Troy's doing.
Well, you know what? Listen, I don't do enough. I find myself being stretched too thin. I'm engaged with SAVIC for next week at their meeting, and I find that I'm neglecting myself here, and I feel guilty. Keith, I do feel guilty that I'm not able to do more, but I try to write, and I try to keep us forefront with Veteran Nation, and I'm working on things, but we'll have time together. I'll see you at the end of the month, obviously, at the meeting, but thanks for all you do, buddy.
Well, good. And I appreciate the update on Kent Davis and his.
He said they had about 500 people down there. It was a good turnout, he said, for what they were doing. So, yeah.
Great. Well, I'll be curious about Birmingham because they have the largest Veterans Day
They
parade
do.
in
They
America.
do. They do. I know. That's true.
Yeah, I think they said it can go from 11 to 6.
Good Lord.
Huge.
That's
all right,
awesome.
my man.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Before I hit this break, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Brother.
And if you're not really, you're feeling more like up here. It's like, no, I'm a man. Well, your voice, it sounds like you're not. What are you, Mickey Mouse? What's wrong with you? Oh, well,
I want to cry.
It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work at all. I'm never in the mood, and I'm getting fat.
I hit it.
Seriously, guys, fellas. And I know there are some manly man's man out there that are like, I don't go to the doctor.
Don't be a hero. Come on.
No, procrastination, being stubborn about this is not going to make it better. If you especially have the symptoms of low testosterone, which is like just you're not sharp mentally or physically, you're just exhausted, sluggish all the time. Maybe you are having issues, say, with ED or other issues.
Gaining weight unexpectedly.
Yeah, losing muscle mass.
Amen,
and it's not
bro.
like you change your routines or your eating habits. Well, get by Montgomery Men's Health. They have the fixes there, and they're not just generic things they throw at you like those online pills that are overpriced and ineffective. No, the urologists and providers at Montgomery Men's Health will do tailored solutions specifically to your body and goals. And it's affordable and accessible. Consultation, including blood work, just $99 with results before you leave. And in fact, they have treatments there that can make you feel better the very same day should you pick those particular treatments. Gentlemen, again, you only got one life. Procrastination is only going to make this worse. Make that appointment today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always make an appointment online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. And be sure to tell them that Joey Clark character on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh.
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Appreciate everybody going over to 1819 and reading my thing. I'm number 2 trending, baby.
That's awesome, brother.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a op-ed, opinion piece, column,
67.
whatever. Yeah, the title is Laugh and Teach All That 6'7" can mean. 6'7".
6'7".
And let's quickly go into some politics real quick.
Yes.
Because the shutdown did officially end.
Yes, it did.
It actually is at a close now, or they're going through the process of closing it up. And let's start with one of Alabama's own. This was Senator Britt, I believe, right after they voted. And I don't know if you caught it yesterday, but Trump in the Oval Office, Katie is there, and Trump essentially, he's the ultimate deal maker. Yeah. He effusively says Katie did a great job with this deal. So, like, for somebody who hasn't been up there that long, obviously she knows the Senate quite well.
She's a type A personality.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, yeah. And just in my small dealings with her, I'm like, I'm not surprised.
She's a go-getter.
But here she is, just moments after this process started.
Hey everyone, Katie Britt here. I just left the Senate chamber where we voted to end the 41-day Schumer shutdown. Look, this is a great day for the American people. Ultimately, this 3 appropriations bills, plus the continuing resolution will head over to the House where they will vote and then send it to the president. And then the government will be back up and running. People will get paid. Benefits will go out. Look, there was no need for this to start with, but I am certainly proud to have played a role in forging a pathway forward and working hard for the American people and the people of the great state of Alabama.
Yeah, job well done, Katie.
She does a great job.
And I think one of her, I've been joking that they're besties for the resties, is her and John Fetterman.
Yeah.
And seriously, folks, this is a little bit of a secret. I said it earlier in the show. For instance, I tend to agree just on my instincts, my philosophy. I tend to agree with a Rand Paul on so much stuff. But then you watch Rand's approach, and he has definitely taken the gadfly approach, where I'm not going to be a team player.
It's very unappealing to me.
And that's the problem is, like, you could be right. I think he is right, especially in debt and deficit.
I think he's very bright, but I think the way he delivers his message and the way he tries, he does not coalition build.
Right. It's exactly right.
He just dies on a hill.
People think you're not a team player. If you don't have a good relationship with folks, I don't care how good your ideas are. People aren't going to hear you.
It'll never happen. Yeah.
And to that, it's frustrating. Whereas with Senator Britt, when John Fetterman, he had that issue, had to go to Walter Reed. She goes and visits him.
I know. I remember this.
Yeah, and it's like these things, like the whole point of visiting him when he's sick is not to have necessarily political dividends, but it is to build an actual relationship on a human level with somebody.
Absolutely.
Here's Fetterman reacting to all this. He voted with the Republicans the whole time. Let's listen in.
I mean, so relieved. I think my party crossed a line of now putting 42 million Americans with their SNAP benefits and making flying less safe and that kinds of chaos and not paying our military. I mean, that was a red line for me that I can't cross as a Democrat. And I think that's been described country over the party. And now that I think that's been the truth throughout it. And it's only wrong to shut our government down. And I'm relieved. But the people now that are going to get paid and fed and millions of Americans, they're going to be flying now. That's going to be made more safe and restored.
You got to wonder, what is the future of the Democratic Party? Is it maybe not that man in particular, but his approach?
I like John Fetterman.
Yeah.
I think his heart's in the right place and he does care. He's not a progressive, but I will say this. You got to remember, Kate, where did Katie get her lineage? We talk about lineage. It's important.
Oh, Shelby.
She's a blue dog Democrat. She's all right. I mean, I'm just saying she has liberal policies though, and some of her economics pieces.
I think you can make that argument, but I also say she's much more conservative than Shelby was.
She is, but
and Shelby also, you never saw that guy on camera.
No, you didn't. But I'll tell you what he did. What she does, she's always making deals for Alabama. She's out there gripping and grinning and trying to make Alabama. She's a porker. She's not that way a porker. A porker. She's like, get us that, get us that, get us that. She's not a porker. Katie, if you're listening, you're very beautiful. Okay?
Phrasing, Trump.
Pork, you're going out and getting us our pork.
Baby. Yeah, you're bringing back the
that
bacon.
Came out wrong. Didn't
Yeah, you're bringing back the bacon.
You're not a porker at all. You're not a porker at all. You're good looking. Don't hurt me.
Shut up.
Hurt me, Katie.
Shut
Don't
up
hurt me,
for
Katie.
a moment. Now, it's interesting to see the fallout here.
Yeah.
And so I always got to find a moment of levity in this.
Okay.
And you can always rely on John Kennedy from Louisiana to provide the levity.
Look at his face. He's just like, I told you so.
Anyway, anyway, this is him on the Will Kane show. Let's listen in.
Why did we shut down the government?
Well,
a pregnant pause.
I want to be careful, Will. I don't want to do anything to upset our agreement. If I did that, my colleagues would, I don't know, they'd have Katie Porter slap me to Pluto, and I couldn't blame them. Pluto. Look, Senator Schumer chose to have this shut down. And it's clear, it was clear at the time, it's clear now. He just dug up more snakes than he could kill. His demands were unreasonable. They were so unreasonable that they weren't even within the realm of possibility on my side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And we were prepared to just sit there as much as it hurt. I mean, we didn't have a choice. We couldn't possibly do what Senator Schumer wanted us to do. But look, I want to thank the Democrats who finally said, look, enough of this foolishness. We're going to open government up. My only disappointment in the deal that we have, I strongly wanted a provision added that senators cannot be paid during a shutdown. It's called shared sacrifice. Mm-hmm. It's called leadership. We were getting paid, but our staff wasn't. I didn't take my salary, but our staff wasn't getting paid, and air traffic controllers and our military. I thought it was the height of hypocrisy. Now, my leadership blocked me from bringing that bill, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep coming.
Yeah, and I think it's something with like the 27th Amendment where you can't change
Yeah.
pay packages for members because they don't want that to be a leverage point in negotiations is salary concerns. But Kennedy always lays it out in a way. He dug up two more snakes than he could kill.
I love this. That's one I hadn't heard before.
It's really good stuff there. And in a second, though, let's see if I can find it here in a second. I do want to go to Rand Paul because they snuck a little thing into this.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Well, I don't know if I actually saved it, but I'll put it this way.
Okay.
You know how Alabama just had the whole thing where they regulated almost to death the hemp and cannabis stuff, like the deltas and all?
Yes.
And I was frustrated enough with that approach.
Yeah, I remember.
And then there are a lot of hardcore, like teetotaling conservatives upset that it's going to be legal at all. Well, the teetotalers, I think, they snuck into this bill new standards for hemp that will essentially ban all these hemp products all over the nation.
It's ridiculous. Oh, you mean at the federal level?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because it all started with the 2018 Farm Bill, and they've amended the Farm Bill to where now the new standards, it's illegal.
I'll be done.
To have anything like the synthetic cannabinoids,
really,
even CBD that has a certain percentage. I saw one guy in the industry laying it out. He goes, even like my basic CBD that won't even mess you up at all, is not going to be allowed.
Really?
Yeah. And so Rand was trying to.
That's a huge industry too, man.
Yeah, and Rand's trying to bring this up, and it was his senior senator Mitch McConnell who put this in there. And so there's always something.
Kentucky is just turned upside down.
There's always something with these yahoos. Anyway, got to hit this break. First, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon. Yes, they can help you with buying a home.
Yes, they can.
Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, they can walk you through the process. They're great, local, trusted folks with amazing expertise and just a great record. The amount of people they've been able to help out get into that first home, or maybe it's a second or third home, but they do it well. They do it right. You're not going to get the headaches if you do some like fly-by-night, web.
What are those ones online?
Yeah,
I'm going to trust somebody online with all my information. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Go with Alabama Home Mortgage. And of course, it's not just buying a home. It's also refinance deals. And with interest rates moving, you're looking to restructure debt or get debt all together wiped out and like off your back. Could be you're looking to lower monthly payments. They can help you with all of these strategies and more. And of course, here on this Veterans Day,
that's right.
They specialize in helping veterans take advantage of all the VA home loan programs. A lot of folks, unfortunately, because of the VA medical side, the VA has a bad rap in general. But no, the home loan programs.
The home program's outstanding.
And they are the best game in town. If you're a veteran not taking advantage of these benefits you earned through your service, you're leaving money on the table. We don't want you to do that. We want you to get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage. You don't have to pull the trigger or anything. Just talk to them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. And you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is a smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. Bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and skill zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Call Dad. No, Ella, call Chad.
Since 1993, Chad has been showing up, ready to help with whatever your home AC needs. His mission, to serve first. Chad takes the time to understand exactly what you're looking for, and if he can help, he'll walk you through the best options, sometimes even with 0% or low payment financing to make things easier. No more sweating over hot and cold spots, surprise $700 energy bills, or wondering if your unit will make it through another season. Call Chad today at 784-9144. That's 784-9144.
Call Dad. No, Ella, call Chad.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Radio is an active medium. It can create immediacy, driving shoppers to a specific store, brand, or to take a specific action. Radio ads engage with the audience in a personal and unique way. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After record-breaking temperatures overnight last night, today will be a very chilly Veterans Day, about 20 degrees too cold for this time of the year, with a high temperature only up to about 54. Clear skies. Could we flirt with a freeze again tonight? It's not out of the question. Tomorrow, we start a turnaround with sunshine and a high in the upper 60s for Wednesday, back to the 70s Thursday through Saturday, in fact, even Sunday. The next chance of showers holding off till Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix. When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. And let's talk to Charles the first on this fine Veterans Day. Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Hey, Joy. Hey, Troy.
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm pretty good. You remember my father was a veteran.
I
but
do.
I wanted to tell you about another person that would be about the same age as my father, and he's in the nursing home in Coleman. He ran the pool hall in Coleman, the only one on Main Street now. Real good guy, but he was a CB.
All right.
And in 1964, he helped rebuild where the 9-point-something earthquake hit Kodiak.
I'll be darned.
And he might be listening. He's in the nursing home now. And it would just make him so happy that anybody even knows who a CB is.
Man, let me tell you, CBs are the best. Those are guys that come ashore. They got to carry their guns and their gear with them because they may not be landing on really welcoming land to do their whatever they're building. So, yeah, they're naval combat engineers, basically, is what they are, Jerry.
And he said they had some kind of rivalry with the Navy people when they'd go offshore.
They did. I've heard it's a different culture. They view themselves as tough as nails, and they are.
Yeah, and he worked with the railroad for 25 years. He got a watch, and then he managed the pool hall for 15 or 20 years. Then I took over when he went to the nursing home because my friend owned it, so I managed the pool hall for 7 years there. And before I got kind of doing radio politics stuff, but he was Also, if he might be listening, because I showed him how to use an app on the radio and told him about the show, so he'll just be thrilled.
What's his name?
His name's Jim. Can I say his last name?
Yeah.
Or Clem Daniel, Jim, and anybody from Montgomery that ever went to the pool hall, they will know who he is. Wonderful guy. And you know, he knew I didn't have a father because of what happened, Troy.
I know.
He was the person that would give me advice.
Good.
Because I had no one.
He was a good man.
It means a lot to me.
He was a great American.
And so,
he was a great American then.
And I appreciate y'all. And I want to tell you something else, though, that you're going to maybe tell me something about. My dad's grave, it had stuff on it. My brother said veterans probably brought it.
They did. They probably
Werthers,
did. Quarters and different things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, quarters and Werthers and stuff. And it kind of shocked me because I didn't know.
Well,
and my brother, remember, he's the one that saw my father there when it happened.
I know that.
He said, no, I left it there. A veteran has came to bring it for Dad.
So what it means is, depending on the denomination of what's left, it means whether they served with them before in the past or knew of them or just honoring him. And the denominations, you can look up online. If it's a quarter, it's usually they had served at some point together, and that's someone paying homage.
It was $1.25 on each side of the
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
But that's an homage.
Okay.
It's an homage. It is an homage from someone who knew your father or respected your father. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you telling me that. And everybody have a happy Veterans Day.
Well, thank you for your family's sacrifice.
Thanks for all that y'all do, too.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Charles. God bless. And real quick before I hit this next break, a couple of endorses rolling in. One of my favorites up there in the Congress, Tim Burchett.
Yeah.
He endorses Barry Moore for U.S. Senate in 2026. Yeah, Tim's always got a great line. He's up there with Kennedy.
Oh, he's a quick.
He's working with Luna on all the UAP stuff and all the weird stuff out there. And then veterans from all 67 counties endorse Morgan Murphy for Senate.
Somebody had to work really hard to do that, Joey.
Yeah, I'm about to say. But no, this list is remarkable. Like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, it's all 67 counties. No, you have veterans coalitions from all 67, their names signed to it. That is quite a statement backing Morgan Murphy there. And I really enjoyed talking to Morgan.
He's a good guy.
When he was in studio last. And especially his, just his perspective. And especially if he's the man behind Tommy Tuberville, all those great questions Tuberville was asking in 2021 of the Armed Services Committee. Man, Morgan would be a great asset.
He's a policy subject matter expert. He understands the nuances and the behind the scene machinations and kabuki theater that is government, particularly in national security, critical infrastructure, things of that nature. And hey, he was part of the Arctic issue. Right. Yeah. I mean, so he was in the ground zero for a lot of that. So yeah.
Well, we got to hit this quick break here. Only about a 30-second break. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. For some reason your camera is all messed up. I don't know what that is.
Maybe I fogged it up or
something. No, there's some reason that computer's delayed or something or the other, but we'll figure it out in a longer
I'm so good looking it doesn't break.
But But real quick, I think I've got time to do this.
What do we got?
This is from 7 years ago. I remember this interview.
Yeah.
This is Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro. This is a short clip from on Ben Shapiro's like Sunday talk show that he used to do. And this 30-something second clip really does help define like the difference beyond foreign policy, beyond any other concerns. Like, what's the general difference between, say, a Tucker and a Ben Shapiro? Let's listen into this.
If the goal is preserving the family as the core building block of any successful society, and it's got to be that goal because it has all kinds of effects that we want, and it's just inherently good. I don't need to explain it, but I could. But the point is, if that's the goal, what are you doing about it? If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
He's got a point.
He's right.
I remember that whole discussion. It was like, well, we have to be on free market principles and stuff like that. But Tucker's driving home the point of like, okay, we don't worship at the church of the free market.
Well, you're right.
That is not the whole warp and woof of what our politics is about. We're actually a nation. And by the way, I just want to share this. This is Charlie Kirk. You know, because Tucker's stopping by here in Alabama this upcoming Friday night.
We'll be seeing him.
And Kirk was clear about this months ago. All the whining about Tucker would have likely made Charlie double down. So let's listen in. This was Charlie Kirk a few months before his assassination.
Let me ask a question. If we were to remove, like if people said what Tucker said is anti-Semitic, I don't hold that view. But it's like a lot of people on Twitter are like calling us out and like, whatever. That's not going to happen. But if we were to cancel Tucker, would anti-Semitism increase or decrease?
I think increase because that means any supporter of Tucker Carlson's statement therefore makes them anti-Semitic.
In association. But I got text about you, Megan, saying, why is Megan like doing the bidding of Hamas? I was like, what are you talking about? Megan's the best. Like what? Like, she's amazing. And I said, why are you texting me about Megan? And I at that point, and so this is what they don't understand. You and I, Megan, and Tucker is in the same category, and they've tried to go after Tucker.
Yeah.
Is that the more you attack our moral character, the more we're going to double down in a direction because 100%. Screw you. I don't do it that way. Okay. And I will say this, the behavior by a lot, both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro Hamas, like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I am learning biblical Hebrew and writing a book on the Shabbat. I honor the Shabbat, literally the Jewish Sabbath. I visit Israel and fight for it. And there's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing? I'm sorry. Like, let's just take a step back here. Like, I'm an American citizen.
Yeah, and really, folks need to have the perspective of this.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because, you are an American citizen, but you're a public influencer and you're a public. So one of the things you got to be careful is with it comes that onus that people are going to attach to you. And let's be honest, the left, they revel in, Satan takes great delight in tearing apart institutions, organizations, families, churches, and there's dark forces at work trying to castigate people. And he was spot on. And I agree, Tucker, I think Tucker, to call him anything, he's actually a very pragmatist. He's not he's not beholden to just one philosophy. He's actually, I look forward to hearing what he has to say on Friday.
Yeah. And also I think Tucker is somewhat, as he beats up on neoconservatives like a Mark Levin or a Ben Shapiro, Tucker seems to be whooping himself, his younger self, his past self.
He does.
And and when you see Charlie Kirk in particular is like, no, I'm being called these names. Yeah. And I think it's because who's they? I think it's a large donor class of American Christians and Jews who are not used to being told no on certain things like this is enough. We've gone far enough. Let's actually make a deal. And that's where any criticism, you're going to get called this. And it's interesting that Charlie saw this coming, but he did make the point that he's literally writing a book on the Shabbat. Well, here's Charlie talking about that. Maybe it is a good tradition that more and more Christians should look into.
Turn your phone off for one day. No contact, no social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. So every Friday night, I take a Jewish Sabbath, turn off my phone Friday night to Saturday night. The world cannot reach me, and I get nothing from the world. It will bless you infinitely. And I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
When he turns his phone off and it goes in that drawer, he's all on for the family. There is no distractions, and he finally gets to reset his brain. He finally gets to breathe. And as a wife, there is nothing more precious than my husband's sanity when it comes to everything that he's dealing with in his world. So I have seen it change him and impact our family in one of the most beautiful ways.
It's made our family much tighter knit. And it says very clearly in the scriptures, for 6 days you shall work, and the 7th day you shall rest. It was important enough that God put it as one of the 10 commandments, and God rested after creation. Go back to God's natural rhythm. That is a day to go be with God and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness, noise of this world.
Amen. And every time I see videos
I know.
that
Listen,
kid
he's
with the kids, and man,
he's just. But he would have sacrificed just to know that he has made even more people come to Christ, and
Amen.
He's a true martyr in my book.
Likewise. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Senate has passed a shutdown ending bill, sending it to the House for a possible vote on Wednesday. The measure funds government through January 30th. It does exclude ACA subsidies. The Democrats are divided, with some calling the compromise a mistake, others calling it a victory. The FAA has ordered flight cuts today and shut down strain, leading to more than 1,200 cancellations nationwide. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning disruptions may worsen by Friday if staffing issues still persist, which they are likely to, even though by then the government shutdown may be over. It will take a few days to get things back up and running. A number of ceremonies marking Veterans Day taking place around the country today. President Trump spoke at Arlington National Cemetery, praising Congress also for progress on ending the shutdown and promising tariff-based dividends for Americans. On Wall Street right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 524 points. This is SRN News.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After record-breaking temperatures overnight last night, today will be a very chilly Veterans Day, about 20 degrees too cold for this time of the year, with a high temperature only up to about 54. Clear skies. Could we flirt with a freeze again tonight? It's not out of the question. Tomorrow, we start a turnaround with sunshine and a high in the upper 60s for Wednesday, back to the 70s Thursday through Saturday, in fact, even Sunday. The next chance of showers holding off till Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt is weighing in on the deal that was reached between Democrats and Republicans in the U.S. Senate in order to end the government shutdown. Britt spoke at the Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce luncheon, saying that a vote will likely be held in December on extending the subsidies provided for Obamacare. Britt says that continuing the subsidies would not address the problems and issues that have been pervasive within the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. Britt listed several problems within Obamacare, saying there's no income cap on those who receive subsidies. There's extensive fraud within the system. And she also says Obamacare does not incorporate the Hyde Amendment regarding abortion. Britt says it will be interesting to see if the Democrats want to address these issues before the vote is taken. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having the people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A Houston County man is being charged with 100 pornography charges that involved children. 47-year-old William Johnson was arrested this week after a search of his home and the discovery of the downloaded images. Johnson is being held in the Houston County Jail without bond. A late-night shooting in Tuscaloosa on Monday night has taken the life of two sisters and injured another person. Police were called to an apartment complex and found 21-year-old Kalia Houston and her 16-year-old sister dead at the scene. A 17-year-old male was also injured. There were children present, including a baby. Police have identified 19-year-old Keyshawn Woods as the suspect. He was captured later that night by U.S. Marshals. I'm Andrea Tyson.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electrical bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program here today on a beautiful Veterans Day here in Montgomery, Alabama. Good to hear the parade had more attendance than last year and that things are coming together. And we have Sergeant Major Brian Battaglia on the line here, Troy. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. Doing very well. I hope my connection and
comms is coming in okay with you? Reception?
Loud and clear.
Lima Charlie.
Super.
What's going on down that way, Sergeant Major?
Well, like everyone else around the country, we're playing our part to celebrate Veterans Day today, and just on the heels of the 250th Marine Corps birthday. So while most veterans are, in full force and extremely coherent for Veterans Day, I think many Marines may be operating on a hangover, getting through Vets Day, but nonetheless patriotic for so many.
Hey, you know what? You guys are fine. You can party all night and do, all that stuff, and then just get right back at it. PT, you just stay up, just keep going.
Yeah, we've been known to be put in precarious situations to be able to handle it.
You guys are tough. I know that. I've hung out with a few of you guys, and I don't think I can hang very long with you. So, what's going on in Mobile? I know the Admiral was down there at the Mobile gathering. Have you heard anything or seen anything going on?
No, we missed obviously for that event, but I did talk to Pete Rhyme yesterday, who's the organizer and facilitator of all the Veterans Day activities in Mobile today. Yep. So that's on its regular schedule. The only glitch, and I think this is countrywide, is the audible that Secretary Hegseth has sort of called with active duty personnel in uniform participating in Veterans Day parades as kind of units and all. So while that's a normal part of the protocol, it caused an audible, and the shutdown was a cause for that.
Yep, that's been a problem for a lot of things, a lot of events, like down at the USS Alabama. They had a guy scheduled, and I think the Admiral had to fill in for him, a general that could not travel, Joey. So some things, we talked about that, I think, when it first happened, Sergeant Major, about the shutdowns and what it could impact, and it certainly has. But it looks like, thank goodness, it's coming to an end.
But at least the Democrats got so much out of it.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot out of it. They got a lot of
Yeah, certainly. So, we know it's going to affect and impact in a negative sort of way off the regular routine of what's happened in past years when the government shutdown didn't affect Veterans Day, but they adapted, and I believe things went off without a hitch to include the Veterans Day parade in Mobile.
Yeah.
Well, I love hearing it.
Well, we had Sergeant Major Kinney on yesterday. We talked a little bit about the 250th. Hoorah to you guys. You guys are the creme de la creme of naval infantry in the world. And you know what? They're all riflemen. And that's what it's people like Sergeant Major Battaglia that makes that happen. So,
Well, it was a special 250th for Alicia and I. We traveled to North Carolina and attended one of the birthday balls out that way. And, but notably, who else was at that ball that was a real privilege was Major Jim Capers.
Oh, man. Really? Goodness gracious. So good. Yeah. Such a good thing. Yeah.
He's had, a busy month of travel.
He has.
Of course. As popular, as he is, everyone wants to meet him and hug him and
such a great guy.
Salute him. If you hadn't heard or hadn't talked about, just on this past November 6th, he traveled to New York City and, was acknowledged with Fox Nation's Salute to Service Award.
Yeah, we covered that.
Award.
We did cover that. And we said, I told him yesterday, we're getting closer to the objective, aren't we?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would say probably at the 10, 15 yard line and ready to bring it in. Yep. We have some ball carriers and just not a question of if, but when.
You're here.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you calling in. How you been feeling? Sounds like you're healing up pretty well. You're traveling a lot.
Yeah. Hanging in there, taking day by day, grateful to our almighty God that He's allowed me to remain vertical. And loving life, proud of our country, and ready to get a haircut and go back in and fight for it again.
They don't make it much better than him. I'm telling you, this guy. I would fight with this guy. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you calling in as always, and let's do it again soon. Thank you, Brian.
I'll see you.
Thanks,
I'll see you down at
Savick.
I'll see you at Savick next week. Okay, buddy. All right.
All right. Talk
Thanks,
to you soon. Bye bye.
Yep.
And Brian Battaglia.
He's a great. Listen, man. What he did is nothing short of remarkable to ascend to the highest position in all the military branches as a senior NCO, non-commissioned officer, serving with the Joint Chief of Staff. So
now there's somebody you in particular want to honor today.
On this day today, first of all, I want to honor my father, Stan Carrico, two-time tour Vietnam vet. Saw a lot of combat, and he passed sadly a couple Christmases ago. And but he's always with me, and he was the impetus for what I did. But I am a young man in New Lebanon, Ohio. I'm working at Bell's IGA, which is a small franchise grocery store, and I'm working with a gentleman who's a butcher, and his name's Tim Alspaugh. I knew he was a veteran because my dad was in the American Legion and VFW, and I knew that Tim had some affiliation with it, but he never talked about anything. Never once did he say anything. When he found out I was going into the service, he said, well, good luck. He goes, you'll be challenged, but you'll do fine. And I didn't think anything about it. And then fast forward to when I meet Robin down here. You know the story. She grew up in the same road I did in Ohio. Well, this is her uncle.
Wow.
This is her uncle. And I want you to play this video because it's a powerful, powerful video.
25 September 1969, Republic of Vietnam,Ien Nhân Province. Seaman Timothy D. Alspaugh is the after 50 caliber machine gunner aboard River Patrol Boat 677, River Division 521. His boat was acting as cover while positioned as a night waterborne guard post on the north bank of the Kai Lan River in support of interdiction operations. Shortly after midnight, while patrolling the north bank, Alspaugh observes what he believes to be a sampan. After alerting his boat captain of the visual, Alspaugh is struck by an object he instinctively recognizes as a grenade. After warning his crew members, Alspaugh searches for the grenade. Despite the darkness and the intermittent danger, he locates it and quickly throws it back.
Wow.
Even before the grenade explodes near the enemy's position, Alspaugh fires his 50 caliber machine gun into the brush, continuing until the boats are clear of the area. The patrol escapes without any casualties. His extraordinary courage and selfless devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the finest traditions of the United States Navy. For his unyielding bravery, Alspaugh was awarded the Navy Cross.
The Navy Cross.
Wow. And this guy, this is the guy saying,
I'm working with him at the grocery store. He's a hero. Listen, the only award higher is the Congressional Medal of Honor. That is the highest you can get in the Navy. They only gave 267 out during the entire 20 years of the Vietnam conflict. He was struck instinctively by what he knew was a grenade in the dark, and he's fishing around for it.
That's insane.
Listen, they don't make him a boy from a small farm boy from Southwest Ohio gets on a boat, goes over there, does that. Then after this, his story continues. He's one of the first BUDS classes for SEALs. Wow. He becomes a SEAL, but they would call him UDT guys, underwater demolition teams at the time. But he was a forerunner. So I believe we're going to get a call in from his sister here in a minute, my mother-in-law, because she can tell you a great story. But we'll see. Thank you for sharing that. Tim Alspaugh is a hero in my book, so I wanted to honor him today.
Again, folks, happy Veterans Day. And 272-9228 if you have a veteran you want to honor, friend, family member. And it really is something that, a man like that didn't boast, didn't wear it on his sleeve, literally or figuratively.
Well, listen, his family,
it's amazing.
His family didn't know about until I came into the family. They didn't realize how powerful that award was. I go, this is a Navy Cross, y'all. Right. Nobody just walks around with Navy Crosses, okay?
Here, let's see who this is.
That's probably Dolores.
You're on there? Who's this?
Yeah, this is Nancy with Townsend Detachment Marine Corps League.
Hey, Nancy, what's going on? I know you. How are you?
I'm overwhelmingly busy. We did the parade, we did the repair, we did the event at the Riverwalk Stadium.
Right.
But aside from that, we're busy. I just wanted to give a shout out to Townsend Detachment Marines who, when it became evident that the state of Alabama was not in a position to host the 250th birthday cake cutting ceremony in the governor's office on Monday because of the government shutdown. Townsend Detachment Marines stood up and went to the governor's office and held the ceremony.
Good. Hey,
So,
you can always count on the Marines. They'll be there one way or another.
Yeah,
They're going to come hell or high water.
Yep, they're gonna do their duty.
That's right.
Whatever they have to do, it's gonna get done.
Amen.
And we had a massive turnout for the parade float this morning.
Well, good.
And I'm just so proud of my guys.
You know what? I'm proud of you. You're part of the glue that held us together during SB 67. You're always there. I always see your face, and you lead from the front. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to say that. Y'all
Cool.
have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, Nancy.
All right, bye.
Well, all sorts of folks calling in today.
Well,
Again,
you know what? I think there's a lot of people with interest.
272-9228 if you want to commemorate a veteran that you know and love, or maybe talk about your own memories.
Talk about your grandfather. He's a lieutenant colonel. He worked on the SR-71. He's got stories that you probably don't even know, Joe.
Oh, I agree with that. I'll put it this way. He didn't talk about it a lot until more recently as I continued to pry.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, he has stories for days about the bureaucracy. This isn't the glory filled and all this stuff. Just the silliness of like all these inspectors and stuff. And they're sitting there in Thailand trying to get planes ready to go. And they keep telling these guys, like, okay, these things that y'all tested over in North America keep crapping out pretty quickly. So, like, we're going to fix them ourselves, and we're not going to send them back. So he has stories like that all the time, like about the maintenance side.
Sure.
Yes, he was a chief maintenance tech for the SR-71 Blackbird. And just some of the stories of like how quickly you had, as soon as those things land, how quickly you got to get to work. Like taking panels off and these sorts of things.
They say they leaked oil constantly because of the friction it needed to generate the cooling in it. They said it was a constant battle with it. So, yeah.
And then, of course, he also worked at SAC headquarters,
Yes.
maintenance tech on one of the Minuteman missiles.
Really?
Yeah.
So he was at Offutt. That would be Offutt, I think, Air Force Base in Nebraska.
Yeah, and I think it was, I can't remember the name. One of the navigators who dropped the bombs was working there.
Wow.
Said he was not exactly, he was a bit of a drunk. Like, he was not exactly the most happy man in the world.
He probably had,
he
had a lot
guilt.
on his conscience.
Yeah, a lot of
okay?
guilt. But it's like, what a small world in a sense of like, okay, like, but, you know, the more I think about, like, he served in Puerto Rico, in
Thailand.
I think he's in Puerto Rico when the Bay of Pigs happens.
Really?
I believe so. I might have that off, but Maine, of course, Montgomery, and then he was in Montgomery in the 50s, comes back and retires here in Montgomery in the 80s. All over. I've got, you know, my mom's born in Maine. My uncles are all born all over the, all over the country. And one thing, just not to, because I can't do it justice, is I was talking with him the other night, and we're talking about, making ends meet. And a lot of folks talking about inflation and stuff. And when my uncle, his eldest son is born, he's born a little bit like his ear is like on the top of his head.
Okay.
So they had to pay for all these medical bills, do all these things. And, they're right out of high school. He's just joined the service. And somehow you make it work.
Yeah.
And I think there's some folks who are living that life and who are still making it work. But it gives perspective on like the humble beginnings of like, when you're living in Puerto Rico and you're not making a big salary by any means,
you're not breaking the bank.
And you've got to raise a family still while you're also serving.
Yeah.
And those are often the stories. They circle back to family and
very cool.
The kids. And there's one I do remember. He gets what I can't remember what they would call it, but he gets like 2-3 weeks from Thailand, come back from
leave. He gets some leave. Yeah.
And he was planning on taking my grandmother. Yeah. They had always wanted to go to Australia.
Okay.
They didn't, though.
They didn't.
Because apparently my mother, his daughter, said, Mom doesn't want Dad to come back home and all this other stuff. Like, you could see my mom already being the little engine that could as a kid.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so instead of going to Australia with his wife, he comes back home and he buys a dog.
Instead, get the dog.
He got a standard poodle for mom, for his daughter, and he still talks about that dog, April, to this day.
That's funny. That's a funny
beautiful standard poodle. But yeah, it was like his stories always circle back to family.
your grandfather's a wise man because he honored what Drill Sergeant Marrero told me. Get a dog instead of a woman, okay? But that's funny. So now listen, he enlisted, then he became an officer.
Yes.
So he enlists, he does his, 3-4 years. Then does he go to college or OCS?
He went to OCS.
OCS. Okay, cool. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Great story. He's a Mustang. That's the best of the best in the military. So.
Oh, and what's great is like I can pull up rocket videos like with Musk and Bezos and all this, and all that training, all that maintenance tech,
right?
So, like it's all there still, like and just explaining how these rocket engines work and whatnot.
I'm sure he knows it.
It's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this? Hello, you're on there. Who's this?
Hello.
Hey, Mama. It's Dolores.
Hey,
That's
Dolores.
my mother-in-law.
Well, hi there, Troy.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing real good. How are you?
Good. I shared with Joey Tim's story. We shared it with our listeners. It's a remarkable story because he never once really bragged about anything or told me. I knew he served, and he's a hero in my book, like my father was. And just tell us a little bit. Tell us what your memories are about that. When I met you guys, I don't think you really fully understood how powerful that award was that he had. And
No, I don't think we did. We didn't realize.
Well, it was. Yeah.
I miss him. I miss him so much, and you're going to bring tears to me. Eyes.
Well, we love you.
Anyway,
I wanted to honor him because he was a great American. Yeah. He's a great American.
Well, he just was a good guy all the way around.
He sure was.
He served his country immensely. And never took credit for it. We always talked about it, and he said, I'll tell you one thing he did say, Troy.
What did he say?
He said, I'm not the hero. He says the men that didn't get to come back home.
They were the heroes.
They were the heroes, and that's what he always told me.
Amen, Mama. Listen, I wanted you to know that his memory is very important to me. When I told Joey how Robin and I met and how this comes full circle, Providence is always working. God's always working. And Tim was I hold him in the highest honor and in the pantheon of warriors. So great.
He was a great warrior. He was. And, I was able to hold his hand when he passed, and
I know.
He had to go home and be with Jesus.
And he's buried in the Dayton National Cemetery, right? He's in the Dayton National Cemetery at the VA. Yep.
Yes, he sure is. And that's he's my hero.
Well, he would say that he was probably very proud to have you as a sister too. You loved him so much. I know that. But I just wanted to give that shout out to Uncle Tim.
Well, thank you, Troy. Appreciate it.
We love
so
you guys.
Thank you, Dolores.
Love you.
All right, bye.
272-9228 on this Veterans Day. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello.
Hey, this is Kent Davis.
Hey, Ken. Admiral, how are you doing?
We're having a reunion today.
Yeah, it's so good to hear from you guys. I've been listening for a few minutes and just wanted to help celebrate Veterans Day for all my brothers and sisters out there.
Amen.
Well, so what have you been doing today? Been to any festivities?
Oh, my gosh. I've had like 3 today. So I'm actually down in Mobile. We started at 7 a.m. with a flag-raising ceremony at the USS Alabama. It was a little chilly, but it was a great ceremony. And I just finished the big Mobile area Patriot of the Year and Veteran of the Year luncheon. There were hundreds of people there.
That's great.
Great luncheon. They honored Dr. Jack Hawkins, president of Troy University and a Vietnam veteran, is the Patriot of the Year. And Colonel John Kilpatrick is the Veteran of the Year.
Right.
And both of them just gave heartwarming speeches about their service and veterans. It was really moving stuff. And now I'm headed to a concert tonight here in Mobile to benefit veterans.
He's the only man that I know that has like 28 hours in a 24-hour day. I mean, I don't know how he keeps up with his schedule, but God bless him.
And the last 3 days I've been everywhere from Haleyville, Alabama, where I was in the parade that spoke up there at the Mobile. I actually woke up this morning and had to think for a second, where am I today?
So speaking of John Kilpatrick, Admiral Joey, you remember we had him on the show. He ran Vets Recovered. Admiral Davis is now standing in for him for a while. Tell us what's going on down at Vets Recovered.
Well, we're doing great stuff. So we operate both an outpatient and a residential center for veterans. Sometimes we're a last resort for veterans. Most veterans are doing great, as you know, Troy, but there's a subset of veterans who need a hand up, and we provide mental health services.
Yep.
We even run a detox center. We're one of the very few residential detox centers in the state of Alabama.
Right.
We operate a 34-bed facility, and we don't turn anybody away, regardless of ability to pay. And we are in the business of saving lives. I don't mean to sound corny at all, but that's really the business we're in.
Well, you know, Admiral, when I was down there with you guys a couple months ago, Joey, I can tell you this, it blew me away, the depth and breadth and width of their operation with multiple doctors, multiple psychiatrists, they had everything. And you've been rewarded, haven't you, with agreement with the National VA to start treating people too, right? Inside the walls.
That's right. We have now achieved every accreditation and certification we possibly could. Joint Commission certification came a year and a half ago. That's a big national certification. And then just a few weeks ago, since I've been there, we got accredited and approved for enrollment in the Veterans Affairs Community Care Network. So they will start referring more and more patients to us and reimbursing us to take care of our brothers and sisters who need that care. So it's a really, really big development.
Well, and as you're out there today with all the festivities, and I love hearing all that, by the way, about Vets Recover. Keep going. Let's keep building. Let's keep rolling the ball. But there does seem to be, at least it struck me today, I wonder if it struck you out there with all the festivities, that there's something special about this being the 250th of everything for the most part. That sometimes some of these national holidays come and go and you had a good barbecue and you see some family, but there's something special about this year, and at least it feels heightened to me.
You are absolutely right, Joyce. So we're in the midst of those. So about a month ago, we celebrated the 250th anniversary of the Navy. We had a great ceremony at the USS Alabama. Yesterday was the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps. Boy, the Marines were hyped today on Veterans Day. And of course, 2026, we celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. So yeah, this Veterans Day is, I think, a little more special than usual because it's tied in with that 250th commemoration. And we should pause as a nation. I mean it. This is the best nation on earth. And I think we forget that sometimes, the blessing that we enjoy. And I think we forget sometimes that those blessings came on the backs of those who serve our brothers and sisters.
Well, amen. And on that note, I'm up against a break here, but it's always great hearing from you, Admiral. And next time you're in town, love to have you in the studio sometime. We can kick around whatever issue.
Yeah, I'll be back in Montgomery on Friday. I'm torn between two cities right now, Montgomery and Mobile, but I go all over the state, too.
Well, I really appreciate it, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, sir. Do have to hit this break. Y'all want to get in line, 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell your home or property here in the River Region real estate market. And not only can they help you buy or sell, they also have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market for all sorts of reasons, including the military base right over there. There's a lot of turnover and a lot of folks looking to rent. Why not, if you have a home, make it a performing asset, and the Goodson Group can manage it for you for a reasonable fee. So if you're looking for more details, you can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Great folks there, 50-plus years of experience all put together with Bo and the team. And when you get in touch with them, be sure to say, hey, I heard that Joey Clark fella on the radio. Send me. Let's hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Finding affordable healthcare shouldn't be complicated. That's why during open enrollment, Guardian Insurance Services makes it easy to choose the right plan. With simple, affordable options for your family and your budget, good coverage is just a few clicks away. But hurry, open enrollment is only for a limited time. Visit myguardiancu.com/health and get started today. Guardian Insurance Services, affordable coverage made simple.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Try Sinclair's East. Fine dining. Vaughn at Taylor. Planning a party? Try Sinclair's.
About 15 years ago, we took over the room downstairs so much. And it's a neat private room. It has its own separate entrance, has its own separate restroom. It can be one big room that'll seat up to about 60 people, or it's got a nice divider in it that we can split it up and have about 30, 35 on one side and 15 to 20 on the other side.
The party food options are completely up to you.
This can either be the same menus we serve upstairs, or we can do a special menu.
Book the party room at Sinclair's for your holiday party.
Christmas, it's obviously great. It's pretty booked. There's still plenty of openings that people will call, but I wouldn't wait too long to call. Call 271-7654 and ask for the manager on duty. Anybody there can help them. We encourage you to call and book it for the holidays.
Get ready to party. Call Sinclair's East at 271-7654. Sinclair's East. Fine dining. Vaughn at Taylor.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Need extra cash? Take 90 days to start paying it back. ASE Credit Union is here to help on your schedule. Whether you're tackling unexpected expenses, consolidating debt, or planning a big purchase, for a limited time, get an unsecured signature loan with no payments for 90 days. Use the funds however you need. Holiday shopping, vacations, medical expenses, or just peace of mind.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on Your Side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on Your Side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Summer is over, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The Arctic chill hangs on, and tonight, with mostly clear skies, I think we're headed for the low 30s again. Could we flirt with another freeze? It's not out of the question. Tomorrow, Wednesday, things start to turn around with sunshine and a high in the upper 60s. That's a move in the right direction. We're back in the 70s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A nice late week recovery. Risk of showers holding off till late Saturday night into Sunday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico in the studio with me. And let's go right to the phones and talk to Papa B. Hey, Papa B. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Good show again today. You know, before there was a country, there was a military.
Yes, there was.
And so we all ought to be thankful for our great servicemen and women. I certainly am. Not having served was one of my great regrets in life. I could not have anyway due to some physical conditions. However, I am from a military family.
Cool.
My lineage stretches back to people in the military before there even was a country.
Wow.
You know, all the way back to
militia
before the Revolutionary War.
The militias, right?
So, yeah.
That's a long time.
Our family tree was like, you know, you've heard of the Lost Colony.
Yep.
Ours was the second wave that came in and found, hey, they're not here.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, I remember.
And, yeah, and so we have actually some family members that were part of that Lost Colony.
Wow.
But you know, at any rate, so to say that, you know, we have deep roots and heritage in the country is a vast understatement. So I'm very, very thankful for this country. We have, looking at what, you know, some of the topics that you talked about already. Now, in our lifetimes and just before, we've seen this just cancerous and tumorous growth of all of these bureaucracies and institutions, and you know, it's just gross development, overdevelopment of, you know, things that I guess, you know, were needed maybe, but then, you know, have turned out to be, well, not so good. And what I mean by that is our great departments, institutions, you know, they've kind of become a, you know, place where it's more about them than it is about the people they were supposed to serve.
True.
Yeah.
And that's what we get. You know, that's what we're always going to get. That's what we're always going to get. So breaking them up, Pete Hegseth the other day said it. You know, it's time to really, you know, rethink how, you know, these processes work. And what happens is the people that they are supposed to help become chattel inside those institutions. You know, one glaring example is the education department, where time and again we've heard, well, we're not for the kids, we're for the teachers, the, you know, AEA and such.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible. You know, you're not here to serve the kids. I thought that's what this whole thing was about. Same thing with the veterans. You know, it got real abusive there before, what was it, about 10 years ago, maybe? Martha Roby, I think, was one of the, you know, leading the charge to make sure that the VA was accountable to change and make changes. Is that right? Was that when it all started?
I'm not sure.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
Has there been actual change though now? Is there, do you think? Or?
Well, I think what you're lamenting is very obvious to the average person with common sense, and that's the problem. But the the scalability of institutions and the construct of institutions restrict an analytical thinking. Listen, here's what I believe the government is, and it's where it started at, how it began post World War II, primarily when we started getting into the boom after the war. Everything is a self-licking ice cream cone. It's designed not to melt. It's designed not to melt. It's got to keep getting bigger each time you lick it. And I'm not joking. And I'll tell you something. Watching the Corps of Engineers, I worked at the Corps of Engineers. There's trillions of dollars actually being over $1 trillion. The time that I was there for those 6 years spent on projects. And I can tell you, we had a saying, Joey, I'm here from the government. We're from the government. We're here to help. And if you think you had problems before, Papa B, wait till you see our solutions. I'm just saying, I agree with you, but it just gets bigger. It seems like it's self-propagating.
Oh, and
so what is the solution?
That's the great question. I mean, I'm in that sort of wrecking ball camp, and I know that's not politically popular. Because I think if you knock a bunch of stuff down, you're not going to rebuild exactly what you knocked down, because a lot of it is dilapidated and,
this is true.
And messed up. But I was thinking, I was kind of stuck on it, and I think in a good way, on you talking about your family lineage. And you got to wonder, what is our connection to those like literal pioneers who settle this place and this land and brave all this and journey? And you want to hope that pioneer spirit is still there. That sort of self-reliance that grew from the roots is still there. But at times I'm like, man, we're too reliant on systems. I was talking about earlier with the charity stuff. That's so much of what the government does through SNAP, like millions and millions of folks. We lost the sort of private networks and stuff. So I think part of it is just having to relearn. And in certain ways, these institutions are not working. And eventually, we'll pull our heads out our asses.
Do you both think, one of the things that I noticed, COVID, it became very much in a microcosm of it. The system is designed to make you dependent on expectation that you can solve all the problems. And listen, even for smart people, you'd be surprised during COVID, people that I thought would never buy that went down that road.
Right. And the argument's always these people can't do for themselves. And I'm like, well, if you believe that, that's definitely true. And if you do it for them, that's definitely going to be true.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah.
Well, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's exactly, some of these things, we're bemoaning the obvious. We're talking about the obvious. The difficulty is, what solutions are there to?
Well, what do you think? What do you think? You asked us. What do you think? Where do you start at?
I would, first of all, I would make sure that we have real accountability, with, some, citizen type boards that keep changing. Don't keep the same people in place, for years. I'd also dismantle the big institutions, and I'd break them up into, send it back to the states. But, again, you're going to have very close watchful eye, because the states can get out of control. Anytime you have men in charge of something like this, there's the ability to have corruption.
Absolutely.
And it has to be closely monitored and exposed every step of the way. Not one thing can, be allowed to go unknown. So I don't know. Those would be my kind of great big outline of
what I think this, guys, since we're kicking this can around, Joey, you got to start with education, the Department of Education. We've got to revamp that. It's training bad. It's going to bear rotten fruit. It's going to bear rotten fruit. That's what I'm saying.
I come back to my wrecking ball, but I also, I've been saying it, and I'm leaning on it. Apparently Charlie Kirk was saying it a lot. No, focus on your own household. That's and if your house is good, focus on your community, and and those concentric circles expanded out to the best of your ability. But if you are all right and you've got your household in order, and you're bringing kids in this world, you're taking care of the grandkids, you're shepherding them through all of life's joys and troubles, I think that's 90% of it. Yeah. And the politics will work itself out if we get oriented ourselves at home.
Let me just say one other thing. The main thing that we've got to do, main thing we need in this country, and desperate we're in need of it, is a spiritual revival.
Amen.
Because all of this goes back to public service and the desire to be a good person, not, take advantage of people or the system. And right now we've just got this terrible bunch of folks that just think that they can just get away with anything they want to. And you can, law enforcement can do some things, but it's a matter of the heart. And if we don't have a change of heart in this country, en masse, then, nothing that we can do and nothing that we're talking about can ever even bear any fruit, any good fruit at all.
We got to have a come to Jesus, don't we? We got to have a come to Jesus.
You're right about that, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Appreciate
Y'all
it.
have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Bobby.
Let's go to Master Thespian. Hey, Master Thespian. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Let me go really, really quick. I want to tell you a story about my grandfather,
Okay.
William Spence Wallace. He only served in the Navy for 6 months.
Okay.
He got drafted in December of 44.
Wow.
And the important part about his story, though, is that he worked at Oak Ridge for 2.5 years before he was drafted, and then worked at Oak Ridge after the war.
Wow.
So he was in Chattanooga when Pearl Harbor hit.
Wow.
Had a wife and who was about to have a baby. So when my dad was born in January of 42, he went to enlist, and they said, we can't take you. You got a heart murmur. But there's a really good government job going to be opening up really close to Chattanooga. Are you interested? He said, sure. So he was in on the early ground floor of chemical extraction.
That's a great story. A great story.
For the bomb.
Yeah.
Wow. So by the time we get to December of 44, they're desperately needing people. He gets drafted to go to the Navy. So he goes, he's on the Great Lakes training when the bomb dropped at Hiroshima.
I'll be done.
And everybody's coming to him because they knew he was from Oak Ridge. Went, what, did you do this? Were you on this? He's like, I think I was.
I was somewhere in that chain of events. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got mustered out.
Gosh.
They discharged him pretty quickly, and then he went back and worked for another 40 years for Union Carbide there in Oak Ridge.
Great story.
We didn't know about any of this until later in his life when we asked him, they were doing, I think it's the 50th anniversary of Pearl Harbor on television, and we asked him, well, what did it feel like? And he told us the whole story. We were like,
wow. That's a great
we didn't know any of it.
It's a great story.
He didn't talk about any of it.
I know. It's amazing what folks carry
Some
around.
People carry around, but it was that generation, wasn't it, Master Thespian? I mean, they were tough. They just
and also some of them be like, well, everybody had a story from
we
that
all
time.
have a story.
Right.
Yeah. That was the feeling. They were like, everybody else had to do this too. I wasn't anything special.
Sure.
If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have ended the war.
You know what I say? It takes a bunch of us to make it happen, and he was part of that bunch, man. So yeah, great story.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all have fun. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Again, that's 272-9228 if you want to get some parting shots in before we close up shop. This part of the program brought to you again by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. Ladies' Night Out with a huge success. Yeah. Such a success, Troy, that they are now going to do 50% off on select items all the way up to Christmas Eve.
When is that? Just all the time?
Yeah, all the way up. 37 shopping days left for Christmas, sir.
I need to go see them then.
You do need to stop by there, see at least what they have. And maybe like you look through the inventory, everything's beautiful. Right. Something, it doesn't, and you go, well, what if I get a custom design piece?
That's a great idea.
Like a true custom angle to it. And it could be something you dream about. Josh Ryder's so good, he can make it a reality.
I've heard he's incredible.
And of course, they do have a great inventory, great selection there from high-end to everyday jewelry items. And of course, don't forget about maybe you have an old piece of jewelry that's kind of bland, like it's not, you wear it all the time. What if it could shine and shimmer like it's brand new again? They can do a spa treatment, or they can do repair work. And of course, don't forget that custom design work. Y'all get by Dillon Rings. It's 119 Brown Springs Road. Christmas shopping has begun. Don't be a loser who's too late. Get by there early and check out these great sales they have going till Christmas Eve. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Experience the magic of the holiday season with a cruise down the Alabama River on the Harriet II, the finest entertainment spot in the river region. Take in the stunning skyline and enjoy the sights and sounds with friends and family. Book your holiday cruise today at funinmontgomery.com. Your holiday will be magical when you cruise the Alabama River on the Harriet II, the best place to entertain your coworkers, friends, and family. The stunning skyline and the sights and sounds will make your party the best. Book your holiday cruise today at funinmontgomery.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Bradville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. In here just helping customers and staying busy. We've got super sales going on today.
Very cool.
But I do want to take a second and say thank you to all the veterans out there. If it wasn't for y'all, I don't think we'd be selling carpet today.
You know what? That's a great perspective.
Yeah, well, it's not telling what we'd be doing today, but we wouldn't be selling floors. I can promise you that. And we've had a lot of our family members that are veterans. Most of our friends are veterans. We're, in Montgomery, Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, all the fun areas, we're blessed because of Maxwell.
Amen.
Because we do have the cream of the crop coming through the Air Force that are going to be, some of these guys are going to be generals one day. And they're living next door to you. And you get to know them. They get really, they are people you would never get to know in any other setting in life. And we need to remember that we are very, very blessed for Maxwell. And down the road, what we have to do, we got to save Maxwell. It can never leave Montgomery.
Here. I second that.
Because, I just hate to see what our town would be like without that Air Force base. It would not be a good situation. But to all our veterans, thank y'all so much. Have a blessed day. I really hope y'all have a great night. Take your family out to eat and enjoy your evening. If y'all need a floor, call me, 285-8117.
Again, that number is 285-8117. And be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles wishing the veterans happy Veterans Day on the radio with that Joey Clark fella.
Hey, y'all have a good day.
Appreciate you, Ray. Let's go to Kevin real quick. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Hey, you guys. Let me tell you about my daddy.
Okay.
All right. You ever heard of Glenn Miller?
Yes.
Okay. My father was over in Ipswich, England, and his job was go around with Glenn Miller.
Wow.
And make sure all the aerodromes are set up for his little band to play and everything, every other night.
Right, for the troops, yeah.
Okay. So when Glenn Miller was going over to France,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
My father was the last man to shake his hand before he got on that airplane.
Yeah, wow. He disappeared, didn't he?
Yep.
Okay, great story.
He did one other thing. You ever heard of a guy named Gary Francis Powers?
Yes. Of course I did. He was shot down in a U-2.
And in 1962, my father went over to Germany to help get him traded for about 10 other Soviet spies.
Wow. That's a great story.
And I just thought I'd let you know.
What was it? What was his name?
Colonel Harold H. Gorley.
We commemorate him. A great American. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Kevin.
Have a good one. See you, buddy.
Well, we're pretty much out of time here. Happy Veterans Day, Pamela.
Yes,
Thank
thank you for
you.
your service, Pamela.
Thank you.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than
Smart
Navy.
one.
Yeah, I know. Ice cream after every meal and just surf and turf on Fridays.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not. I'm
I
envious.
never
I'm
had that
envious.
though, really.
When I was deployed downrange, just go to the Air Force Chow Hall. They got it all.
You know where the best chow hall I ever ate at was?
Where?
Army Chemical School. For real.
Really?
It was an officer school.
Well,
international
I
officers.
get that. All right. Well,
it was the best.
Yeah, Fort Benning, not so much.
No.
They put saltpeter in everything.
No,
Joe,
and
you'd hate
not to knock Maxwell, but it used to be after Mass every Sunday we would go to the Officers Club
Sure,
over there.
yes,
They do have a good
That's
club.
back
It was
when
a
the O
great
Club
spread.
was great.
Yeah, but we stopped going for some reason.
Well,
I don't know why.
what happened was about 15 years ago, the services got on the DEI thing. We can't have an officers club and we can't have a enlisted club. And you know this from being enlisted. Things that happen at the E Club or the NCO club, they took care of like business there. Like they would meet on something. But now you got officers and you got enlisted and they don't want to talk about things.
Right.
It became a mess.
Yeah, but I know I have great memories of like seeing the static displays of all the different planes out there as we ride over to the Officers Club and eat good. And for some reason I have memories of my great grandfather, Papa Joe, Joseph Skinecki, and old Pollock. And he really was, man. I can show you photos, and
I believe it.
Rough living, but he did
was
it
a
right. He
good
saved his
boy.
money. But he would be like, I don't really like shrimp. And 3 plates later of
He's just
jumbo
doing,
shrimp on peel.
I really don't like it.
I really like it. And all this
But
stuff.
I'll eat it since it's in front of me.
Anyway, like who really does have like the nicest digs in the military?
I think the Air Force does.
Yeah.
Their lodging, you should see the new lodging they just built down at Tyndall Air Force Base after the hurricane. It looks like a Westin.
Yeah.
It looks like a Westin property.
All right. Well, thank you both.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
for
you're
being
welcome.
for serving, for also just being here all the time on the radio with us.
So I'm going to start a new tradition. Before I leave, I'm going to give you one weird quote from the military each time. Okay.
Okay.
This one is, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. That's Napoleon.
It's a good one.
Yeah, Napoleon had some really
He has
good
some
ones.
great ideas. Yeah.
And some really he was a great battlefield guy.
He was. His troops loved him. His troops loved him.
He took cat naps.
I know he did.
Like on the battlefield.
Well, he had a lot going on.
Right. And I almost
They're called
suspect
ranger naps.
I can't
That's
prove-
right. I was just resting my eyes.
I can't prove this, but Waterloo and Wellington
Sure.
and all the victories. I'm not sure if it was Wellington. I think it might have been the swelling in Napoleon's saddle. Apparently, he had really bad hemorrhoids.
He did have bad hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
He rode pretty hard.
That's awful.
Now his greatest commander, the reason he was successful, in my opinion, Field Marshal Ney was a man amongst
Fearless.
men. Yes, fearless and very tactically and strategically sound.
Anyway, on that note, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg and Pamela. They are next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Ag.